That's the wrong setup.
Wow.
People were giving me shit because I wasn't using my intros. So there you go. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
How are you, sweetheart?
I'm alive and
good.
And alive.
I'm really glad to hear that, actually.
What? Didn't I pay you that money I owed you?
What's that?
Didn't I pay you that money I owed you?
Probably not, but it's okay. I don't know. Did I loan somebody money? I don't. Look, this is how I see it. Like my son, he's like, "Hey, pops, can I borrow like $100 till payday? I'll give it to you in 5 days." I know I'm not seeing that shit again. I know I'm not seeing it. And most people who need to borrow money, it's because they have no money to give back. So I just assume it's a gift. And if they come back later and give me the money back, then I think it's a bonus and I go blow it. It's like a savings account with no interest.
You blow money? How do you blow money? I don't get that.
Oh, you got to roll it up really careful, but you got to be careful because you'll get paper cuts on your lips. See, Jenny, I know you. You ain't getting nothing by me. I love you for it, though. How you doing,
darn.
JR, how you doing?
Well, I'm iced in right now.
You're iced in.
I have to get out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And go home because I'm out of meds tomorrow. All I have enough is for tomorrow morning. And
well, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't make it long without my medication. So.
Yeah, well, there's things like, people have heart conditions and diabetes and, thyroid issues. And then you get into the chronic pain people. Like, it'll make a motherfucker crazy. And then you got people like me who are on I don't want to kill anybody medicine. And if I go 2 days without that, you dive so quick. I'm swear to God, I'm not even kidding you. I have my Alexa Pro in 3 different places, right? I have it right here in my kitchen. Every time I get a bottle, I just divide it if I've used them all, right? So I have some in my kitchen where I normally keep, where I take in at night. I have a bottle in my computer bag. So if I take my computer somewhere, if I'm going somewhere for the night, I always take my computers with me. And then I have another bottle with about 15 tablets in it that I stashed at my girlfriend's house. Because I can go one night, but after the second night, I'm a fucking dick. And I know it.
Well, I have a blood cancer. And
well, fuck, JR. That sucks.
And if I don't take the chemo medication every day, it
flares.
And I don't want to flare it.
No.
And I also have don't kill people pills because of PTSD. And you don't want to see me without those for very long.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
Around me,
the bottom line is, besides antibiotics that you only take for a short stint, any kind of medication you're on, nothing should just drop off. I mean, if you have like an overactive or underactive thyroid a little bit, and if you miss a few days worth of pills, it's really not going to do much to you. You might feel a little tired or kind of, but besides that, it's not going to do anything to you. But, stuff like heart meds, chemo meds, anti-anxiety, anti-depression, blah, blah, blah meds. Those are all of those. You don't just let them. Jenny will tell you, she knows about heart medicine. You don't let shit drop off. It will fuck you up.
And then I got my blood pressure medicine, which I take 3 different times.
Right.
To keep my blood pressure low enough that it don't blow my head off.
Right.
Because of the blood cancer. So, I actually take 1, 2, 3, 4 pills.
I love you, Krabby. I'm sorry, JR. Go ahead. 4 pills?
I take 4 pills to fix problems that the chemo pills give to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, it's
JR,
always
where are you
there's
located
double.
that you're iced in?
I'm in Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about them getting nailed today.
I come up to visit my great nephew for a few days. Just going to be here a couple days. Uh, so I didn't, bring my med bag. I just brought, my boxes. And tomorrow morning's my last dose. So yeah.
Yeah, sure, Nick. Just get hopped up on any kind of steroids. If you stay on steroids too long, you will turn fucking nuts. It will make you fuck. I knew a guy. He was on steroids to decrease the inflammation in his neck. He had
Well,
two ruptured
meth can do it to you
discs.
too.
Oh well, yeah. No, we're talking about like OTC meds. So he had two ruptured discs in his neck, and this guy was in constant fucking pain. And the only thing they gave him were steroids, and they gave him like the lowest level of narcotic pain med you can get. And I don't remember which one it was, but that's what they gave him. And he was in constant fucking pain. Those pain pills were just like they took like the edge off so he could like kind of take a breath, but they didn't really fucking solve it. And we happened to be in Florida, and he was Mexican, and they thought he was drug seeking, so they wouldn't give him any more than that. Like they were afraid he was drug seeking. So this poor guy was in some pain. Well, he was on steroids for like a month and a half. And a month and a half in, he lost his shit and picked up his girlfriend, my best friend, and like slammed her head up against and then dropped her and went, "Oh my God." And he like cried and apologized, and he just couldn't stop it. It was kind of like, like my PTSD shit. Once I start, shit starts flying out of my mouth, I don't even know I'm doing it until after it's done, and then I go, "Oh, what the fuck did I just do?" But it's like 5-10 minutes later, it clicks in my head that something like that happened. So, yes, roid rage is very much a thing. Yes, it is, Krabby. So, he, the third time he blew up at her, we were driving to Texas in his car, and a cop pulled him over because he was speeding, and he was speeding, but then the cop started harassing him because he was Mexican, right? Of course. And you guys here remember, this is like 1992. So it was a lot different back then, 20 years ago. So anyways,
that was 30 years.
30. Oh my God, shut up. You're right. It was 30 years ago. Fuck me running. God damn it. I feel older now. Anyway, so I'm in the back of the car. We're going through Louisiana. Black cop pulls us over. And he does not like fucking Michael. Doesn't like Michael a goddamn. His name was Michael. It wasn't even like a weird like Jose or anything. It wasn't even like a Mexican name. But anyway, so he started giving him shit, and Michael started getting pissed off because of those fucking steroids. And so Pam got out of the car, and he was like, "Ma'am, get back in the car." She was like, "Officer, please. He is on steroids right now. He has a ruptured disc in his neck, and he is not in a good place. And I'm just trying to calm him down." He was like, "Get back in the car, ma'am. I got this." And she was like, as she's walking back, she's going, "Michael, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, Michael." And she's like slowly going back to the car, So finally the cop gives us a ticket. He leaves and everything. And they're standing out there and they're talking. And he was like, "Fuck this shit." And he goes to get in the car, and she's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm sitting in the back like, is he going to like take off with me and leave my best friend stand beside the road? And he dug in the console and found those fucking pills, and he threw them in the fucking water because we were right there by the water in Louisiana. And he said, "I don't fucking want anything to do with him." He said, "I'll be in more pain. I can't fucking be like this." He said, "I hate myself." So, stuff like that is vicious. But what I was going to say is, besides like antibiotics that you take a stint of, and then like that's the only thing that you let drop off. You don't let anything drop off, and everything should be titrated up and titrated back down. And that's just how it is.
Yeah, my PTSD triggers, and I don't realize it until it's there. I mean, and I either get extremely mad, extremely violent, or go into a deep depression when mine's triggers. So, yeah, I don't get off my "don't kill people" pills. People don't want to be around me when I get like that. So, hey, Purple.
Hey, Perp.
feel so. I'm a star. I'm the only one on camera. Oh, great to be me.
Sorry about that, JR. There's something up. I bought a new hub, USB hub, and just randomly it will disconnect my camera from my computer. And I just like it goes stops my camera. I mute for a second, let you guys talk, and I go check my settings and put it back to it does it with the webcam too. I mean the webcam, not my microphone, my webcam. It does it with that.
Like you're frozen now?
Purple, let me give you I'm gonna send you a different link because I think something was wrong with that link. Hold on. Go back into Twitter. Because that happened to somebody else too.
That would be me.
Yeah, that would be Jenny.
Yeah, B's kind of frozen over there.
Let me tell you, man. They killed my camera. Let me tell you, like, it's so frustrating because my landlord's parents or the wife's parents are staying next door. And at night, they turn on their fucking computers and watch live stream shit on their TV or whatever. And it's fucking me up. And I'm so frustrated with it. I'm about to go get my own internet. I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, the ice is
where are
already
you, Purple?
The ice has already taken out the internet here for a little while earlier. So
where are
if I
you?
disappear,
oh, that's okay.
You know, just saying.
We'll see if you come back. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's got about close to half inch of ice here. So yeah, a little dangerous with wires and tree limbs and crap.
Now I got to repaste this to everybody. Perps.
There we are.
What's up, sweetheart?
Oh, not too much. I was overwatching Slim's 500 sub stream. So wrapped that up a little while ago.
Oh, cool. Good deal. Yeah, Slim's funny. He cracks me up.
Yeah, he's
I wonder
certified.
if there's anybody else waiting on that other link right now. Sent it to like 10 people.
Well, it's really deceptive. It takes you all the way into StreamYards and puts you in the back room and just says scheduled.
What's the background on it?
The background, you know, the green room before you let
when you look at the screen, what's the background?
Well,
just
the
a blank screen.
Blank, but it always is when you're waiting to be let in.
Yeah, you just have like when I come in, my camera was on. It showed me a camera and told me to enter whenever I was ready. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I took it right off of I made the stream and went back in there like an hour later and shared it out on Twitter from my phone. So I don't know what happened. Very weird. So sorry about that, folks. So what's new in the Purple Land?
Not too much. I've been seriously debating getting another cat because I think that Sammy kind of needs somebody to play with.
Yeah.
But I'm a little worried because the last two cats he's been with have bullied him and he just hid under the bed most of the time.
Oh.
So, trying to figure out how to make sure I can get one that he'll get along with.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea.
Because he is suffering.
Yeah, go ahead.
He suffers too much BHS, boring human syndrome.
You could always hook up with somebody and foster cats, and if they work out, great, you can keep them. If they don't, send them back.
Well, I'm going to call the Humane Society here and ask if I could bring him in there so that like they could meet in a neutral room and he could at least sniff them before they come in his territory.
Right.
You know, then maybe we can get some kind of a feel for which ones he'll be able to get along with.
Like my cat has my dog to play with, so yeah. They're a pair.
Okay.
And the cat wanted nothing to do when it was a kitten and come into the house. At first, I don't think it ever seen a dog, and it wanted nothing to do with the dog.
Yep.
And the dog just looked at it like, what? And, he'd been around cats, forever. But after, I don't know, a couple of months, they got to where they would go nose to nose, and, now they clean each other. It's just crazy.
Oh yeah, sometimes it just takes them a while.
My cats are funny because sometimes they don't like really interact much. They'll just kind of be like, they'll walk, like one leaves a window, the other one will go up to the window. They walk past each other and they don't do much and they don't communicate. But then you turn around and look at them and they're like curled up, like giving each other a bath. And then they're playing and they're getting all rough and she gets mad and smacks the hell out of him and shit because he's being too rough. And thank you, Krabby. I appreciate it. And I reported him and blocked him. So, and he gets a little too crazy and she'll get a little upset with him. But she has a line that she draws. He doesn't understand what lines are. he's such a guy. He doesn't get it. Yeah. So, but he's a good cat though, in general.
Yeah, two I had in New York, Fiona and Guapo. They would like lay on opposite ends of the couch, or when I was in bed, they'd lay on opposite sides. So I was like a wall, so they never had to acknowledge each other's existence.
Yeah.
And the only time that ever changed was if I put some catnip down, Fiona would roll around in it, and then Guapo would spend the rest of the day trying to get it all out of her fur.
Right.
How come you're frozen?
I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Junie, you've got a
leave my
special
cam
needs
off.
kitty?
Oh. Diana, I was just explaining, Lady Di, you beautiful
Yes, dear.
lady. I was just explaining that I had made the stream and shared it to everybody. I had to go back in and reshare it because I didn't know who was in the other room or how they got there.
Oh, I just came back onto this machine anyway, so not to worry.
Oh, good. I'm glad
I'm switching back and forth from three machines here.
You're a nut.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've actually been looking for a tower, and I'm gonna get a regular tower and use that at home, and then just keep my laptop for travel stuff. And I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more CPU.
There you go. I rather like the whole tower thing. Yeah, I mean, I've got the laptop. I don't know if you can see it over here or not, but it's great. When I'm in dialysis, I carry the thing with me and I connect to YouTube and shit like that. But to try to do some actual work, no. It's just not got enough going. Hey, Junie, how you doing?
I missed Junie. Junie popped up. I haven't seen Junie in I think 3 weeks or something. How the hell are you, man? Are you doing good? Is things better? How's the job?
Data por le quise.
No, I love Junie to death, so I'm glad to see them pop up here and there.
Junie is definitely moo.
Yep. Speaking of moo, how are you feeling, young lady?
In a word?
Okay, yeah, I kind of figured.
No, I suffer kidney failure. How do you think I feel? God damn, really? It's not going to be A1, I'll tell you that right now.
No, well, there's crappy days and then there's really bad days. So if it's just a crappy day, it's like good.
Whatever the hell that meant.
Yeah, that actually is a thing. Junie's right. Their balance is really off. Perps, like I don't know how to explain it. I think it's an inner ear issue, but I'm not positive. So that's okay, Hawks. I just modded Krabby, and Krabby will have my back when you're off wandering around on other streams, you bastard. No. Hey, well, those Russian bots try some shit. So, speaking of bots and craziness in the chat, JR, you said you had some questions, but Ben's driving back to Phoenix right now, so he's not going to be in tonight.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you
okay.
want to wait till next week, you can. You can pop in the chat on Monday when we do the trans stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to ask Ben how the experience of driving in the real world compares with your over the road trucker.
You know what
There
Bolt
you
told
go.
me is he said he was playing so many driving games there for a while. He went out somewhere with this kid, and this kid was like, "Dad, you're driving kind of fast." He was like, "Oh crap!" He was going like 60 and a 35.
Oops.
Didn't even realize it.
Yeah, sometimes Sloth Girl has to check me on that.
No sorries, Judy. We were just wondering how you were. Your name came up about a week ago, I believe. So I was thinking about you. Just glad you're good.
Yeah, I had been noticing that I hadn't seen Junie comment on anything in Twitter for a while.
Ox is so random. We're sitting here talking about like medicine and health stuff right before Diana came in. And he was over there looking up who the scribe for Muhammad was. I love you, Ox.
Righty.
Oh,
Yeah,
really,
what?
Krabby? You can go to the person's channel? Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I didn't know they gave that
noticed a couple
back.
of days ago.
Yeah, I saw that that's available again.
Yeah, I was really
That is
pissed when they took it
awesome.
out.
You know, I used to love that feature when I was modding in someone else's chat, and someone would come and start talking crap, and I'd click on their name and go look at their channel, and I'd come back and go, "Oh, Mr. blah 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 blah," and like out them, and give them shit about what's on their channel.
Yeah.
Well, I was quite
That's
annoyed
funny.
when they took
One of
that
your
away
videos
because
says,
I would just out of habit, anytime I saw somebody new in a channel that everybody seemed familiar, I'd go and check them out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
great
that was
to,
also how it got pretty easy to tell who was, just spamming or trolling, as opposed to who was actually trying to be part of the community.
Yeah, because most of the troll and sock accounts and shit, there's nothing on there. It's just a basic channel, and when you see that, something's up. If they have conversations and videos and stuff up, or actually some kind of conversations or content, then they're usually a little more safe. So yeah, you're right.
Well, I also follow that, and a lot of times I'll usually go and I'll subscribe to people who have like less than 10 subs, so that when their channel blows up and they've got 10,000, I can claim as one of their first subs.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that saying, Lady Di? Pot calling the kettle black.
Who are you directing that to?
Yeah.
Stool. He said people who play trucking games are weird and need a life. Okay, Pot.
Pot calls the kettle black. Definitely, Stool. Definitely. We love Stool. We do.
No, I do love Stool. Stool, I think I sent you a link, didn't I? It's in the.
Oh,
If you want to come in.
Oh God, no.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I didn't say anything.
Oh crap! I have to call the Lezer in San Diego, and we both get on him. Hey, Stool.
Okay, you guys, let me know if I glitch again. I hate being off camera and not being able to, like, I'm Italian. I want to use my hands to talk with,
You're still frozen.
You're still frozen.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's still the same image it was before you shut
it hasn't
it off.
changed in 20 minutes.
His icon was up, and now it's gone again. Yeah, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
Here? You're back.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to check and make sure my internet's going through my Ethernet, not Wi-Fi.
Wait a minute. Is your camera on a USB connection? If it is, just try unplugging it and plugging it back in. Because it may just need the camera to reset.
Okay. It's a PC. Nothing's guaranteed to work.
Oh, see, it's trying to pick up.
PC is piece of crap.
Yep, sure is.
It's trying to pick up the Wi-Fi at the same time, and I think it's fucking.
Okay, now Diana's frozen too. We're losing everyone.
Wait a minute. No, I'm not frozen, am I?
I
Oh,
don't see you
Diane's
moving
not-
on the screen.
Lady
You're
is not
holding your
frozen on
hand
my
up
end.
and you're stiff.
I see her move.
Oh nope, that
I'm
must be
moving
you,
right
Purple.
now,
Looks good
so
over
do
here.
you-
I'm looking at the YouTube feed.
I don't even have the YouTube thing.
Oh,
Let me do that thing
maybe
to
it's StreamYard.
the thing and to see if the thing is thing on the thing. I don't know the thing because the thing is thing. The hell am I talking about? Oh my. Okay, I'm seeing
Oh,
motion.
hold on. Yeah, maybe it just paused my YouTube here.
But I'll tell you that the lag looks
Am I
significant.
froze still?
Oh, wait a minute.
No,
What's
now
going
you're
on?
live.
Okay, yeah, now everybody's moving.
It was
This
picking up my
Avalata.
Wi-Fi instead of my Ethernet cable. That's why. Just trying to pick it up Wi-Fi from outside.
Although we kind of need to ask JR to blink or something so we're sure he's moving.
Just flip everybody off, JR. I'll give you
I see some eye blinking going on.
Yeah, I'm still alive. I was just sitting over here being quiet because y'all are having a conversation. I was gonna say I hate to hear anybody's on dialysis because it may not be long. I have to be there to
Yeah.
myself. So I'm
Well,
ready
well,
to go to mine.
it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, JR, let us know and we'll do a thing marathon donation streams for you like we're doing for Diana.
Hey, wait a
Because we're
minute,
not gonna
JR.
let her fucking
Are you on
Wait, what?
dialysis, JR?
He said soon.
The blood cancer I have, it doesn't kill you. Okay, it has something else to it. My heart's enlarged. My lungs are they work okay. My kidneys are failing. My liver's going. So it's something's going to get me. It's just when and how long from now. It's just
Oh.
and it doesn't bother me. Okay?
Well, if there's anything we can do to help you along, that's, this community's been really good at stepping up and supporting anyone who needs it.
Yeah,
Just let Purple know, because if you let Purple know you need help, Purple's on that shit faster than a fly on a piece of fresh crap. Out
Yeah,
in the world.
I still don't know how this happened that, people got to think I'm a community organizer because it's like, I'm the one who's known for going months at a time without talking to anyone.
Yeah, but when you have a reason to, you're on point. That's the point.
Yeah.
When you have a reason to, we can't shut you up.
Yeah, fuck, right?
Well, I'm used to doing crisis control. That's my whole life has been trying to briefly rest between impending disasters.
Well, you raised kids. I mean,
Yeah, that's a big part of it is having helped raise 9 kids.
you are better than I am, Dan.
But yeah, I just said all that because that way if I'm not on, I don't feel good. So and I have I have my days and I have my weeks, and that just I feel like crap. It's just part of it.
Do you have a trusted friend that if you wind up in the hospital or something, they could get on your account and leave people a note?
Don't know. It would be right now.
I think that's really important for everybody to have somebody like that if something unexpected happens.
Yeah, Purple, you remind me. Did I leave you my stuff or not?
No, I've got your phone number and address, but that's all.
I'll have to give you my account particulars.
Yeah.
I run a room, a chat room on Pal Talk, and I have people there that have my phone number, and I have theirs, and my daughter knows to call them and tell them.
Okay, that's good. I just
contact them, so maybe I can,
Over the years, I've had too many people that just went quiet, and I never knew what happened. So that really disturbs me. So I think everyone in the community needs some kind of a backup that if you have a car accident and you're in the hospital, that somebody will let the rest of the community know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You never know what's going to happen, but
Yeah, there's a lockbox in Sloth Girl's closet that's got a little notebook with all of my passwords.
but I, I haven't thought about it, so I'll have to do that. Because I am getting better known
Oh.
over here in the atheist community, I'll say. So,
Oh, there he is. Look at that. You see that smiling face over there.
Queen Bee channel and a couple others.
So for Jenny, Stool said, "Give me everyone's account details, and I will not steal all your stuff and run away to Barbados."
No, he's going to go and hide out in Flamingo Land.
Hi,
You
Dr.
can have
Ross.
access to all my financial accounts. You'll find that the balance is zero in all of them.
There you go.
And I answered you, Krabby, because I didn't know who you were for a while. So that was fun. And I was like, the fuck?
Stradetti a Carasotti.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
I
shoot you
certainly
one
do
right
not
now.
worry about anybody coming after me, trying to get close to me for my money.
Yeah, when I started dating Heather, I said, look, we were on like the third week of our dating, right? And we were just, of course, we're like madly in love with each other. But I said, look, I have nothing to offer you but me. And she was like, what more would I want? I said, no, I mean, like, I'm poor. I don't have a lot of money. I have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month that I can buy stuff for myself with, like new underwear. I bought trimmers for my future beard, because I needed to start trimming my nose was the reason. But anyways, not the point.
The only time I almost had money.
Hold on, let me finish real quick. So, no, it's okay. So, I just said to her, I said, I can't buy you lavish gifts. I cannot, I mean, I know she makes six figures. Like, I'm not stupid, right? I know how much she makes a year because I work for her and I've seen the paperwork. So I was like, I can't do those things. And she's like, I don't care. And I said, but, I'm just afraid that you're going to think that could, I mean, randomly I'll save up some money and do stuff, but I can't. And she just like kissed me and said, I don't fucking care. And she tries all the time to take care of me.
Because she's comfortable with you being well, never mind. I won't go into it.
What? No, I don't care.
A cheap fuck.
A cheap fuck? Yeah, she's okay with it. Matter of fact, I have to. All right. Thank you, Krabby. I got that. I appreciate it.
I need to go ahead and cut on out. And I got to go over to my place. So anyway.
All right, buddy.
I have people that depend on me over there. They want to see
you later.
So anyway, much love all of you. And hopefully I'll catch you in Monday.
JR.
Yeah, JR. You're always welcome, buddy. Once we open it up to everybody, you're always welcome. Okay?
Right. I'm good.
All right. All right. Have a good night, bud.
Good night.
I don't know.
Actually, Krabby, I will say that there was a nationwide, which you probably know this, but I'm going to say it anyways for people that didn't know and don't know. There's like a nationwide shortage for computer parts. And there's lots of things that we're running low on in the stores because there's not enough fucking truck drivers out there to move shit right now. And so if anybody's like, hey, you know what? I don't really have a place to live.
Yeah.
And I need a job and a place to live. Go be a truck driver. Because I'm telling you, the pay's about to start banging. I just refuse to live over the road again. I'll never do it again.
It's truck
it's
drivers.
Not for me. I'm too ADHD. I can't just sit like that.
Yep. Truck drivers and dock workers. They literally have literally hundreds of ships that are sitting just outside port in California waiting to be unloaded.
Yeah.
How many of them with a hold full of perishables?
That has become a problem, and that's part of why, we've seen some of the price increases. That a lot of
Yeah, I
stuff is
kind of
just
figured.
spoiling. But especially when it comes to the electronics and computers, the other thing
Mhm.
is that people are using like hundreds of GPUs to make mining machines for Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I
So
thought
finding
that
a graphics processor is a nightmare right now.
by now it was almost what, a worthless idea, or whatever you want to call it. Futile. That's the word I was looking for. To mine
Futile.
Bitcoin, because I thought they were almost at the maximum allowed, but no.
Okay, I don't know.
It's
Maybe you've got
it's a
some
waste of
information
time
there
if
that I
you're on
don't
the
have.
bottom. It's a pyramid scheme. All the people who are making money are at the top. Everybody on the bottom is losing their ass.
Oh, I'm sure.
That would make sense. That basically has been playing out as a huge Ponzi scheme, and that's why they keep starting, new
Yep.
cryptocurrencies.
That's why the NFT thing was started up, because it was helping to delay the discovery of the Ponzi scheme, and it's become a Ponzi scheme in itself.
That is exactly the shit like that is exactly why I don't want to put my money anywhere. I'll put it under my goddamn mattress.
I had an
Because
idea.
Money, what money?
Everybody's like, oh, I invest in this, I invest in this, invest in this. I make a few bucks. Yeah, but if something fails with that, you have nothing.
I had an idea for a great new venture we could start. I was going to start CryptoCoin. But the idea is that we actually mint physical coins. We actually stamp out physical coins that have like Sasquatch and the Loch Ness Monster, and we sell them as crypto coins.
Oh my
Okay.
God. You know what you could do? Put anything Republican on it. Sell like fucking crazy. With those two things and Republican something, I don't care what. I don't know, put a generic form of Trump on it or something. I'm telling you, that shit'll sell. People are
Well,
fucking
I
stupid.
don't know how true this is, because he doesn't know how true it is, but Owen Morgan was doing a piece on it a little while ago. Some pastor said that he had bought a Trump coin, 10 pieces of this Trump coin or something, for $250 each, and then he resold them for $1,000. And the problem is that, as far as I can tell, Owen went looking for the coin out there and then found it on sale for $215, 215. So this guy cannot be selling for 1,000, and then he even paid too much. So what the hell is going on here?
Well,
I don't know.
I can see it could have been one of those things that, just before Trump lost the last election, it could have peaked at 1,000 and dropped back down to 200.
I don't know. It's a possibility.
I just don't. I don't know. Like, for instance, the first thing that ever left a bad taste in my mouth about banking and investing and the stock market and all that shit is my Nana had a bank that she had for like 40 fucking years. She used the same bank. They were not FDIC insured, and she didn't know it.
Oops.
Because who thinks about that? She's an old lady. Like, she wasn't thinking about that shit. And when, hold on, what year was it? 1990 hit. 1990. They shut their fucking doors and kept everybody's money.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
She
Oh,
lost
no.
her entire retirement. Gone. I don't
would
trust
tell
now. I don't trust
everybody,
anybody now.
if you're with a bank or a savings and loan, I would take your money out of there and go to a credit union. Because credit
That's not a bad
unions
idea.
are about serving the members rather than about, putting money in the CEO's pocket.
Yeah, not a bad
Yeah.
idea there at all, really. I've been with a credit union for about 25 years now,
Yep.
if not more. And they're really nice. As a matter of fact, through 3 moves, I don't even live in that borough anymore, but they expanded their reach such that I can still be a member where I am now. So that's a
Well,
good
same
thing.
here. I've had an account at the same credit union since 1995, despite living in 3 different states between them.
Okay, then, yeah, because I'm trying to remember. I switched over to that sometime in the 90s, and I can't remember when I signed on with them, but
Yeah,
I've not regretted it.
I'm actually with a local credit union that's just they only have 3 branches right now, and they're expanding. And it is a credit union, so it's owned by the people that have accounts there. And they literally have sent me emails saying, "Oh, we want you to vote on this. Who do you think would be a good candidate for this position?"
Yep. I get
Mhm.
those
You know,
twice
like,
a
they
year to
literally
vote
do
on
that
board
stuff.
members.
Yeah, and all the board members are picked by the fucking people. They're all voted on by the people that have accounts and everything. Like,
Yeah.
And I feel really good about it because they're too small town. They're too small right now to fuck anybody over because they need all those customers, right? And then by the time they get that big enough that they're not going to fuck anybody over, I'm probably going to be in a nursing home. So I don't fucking care at that point. But now they're up to
credit
3
union.
branches, but they're great. I mean, the customer service is fucking primo in there. The banks are like beautifully laid out. They have this really nice, like comfortable waiting area and shit. Well, if you're waiting to talk to like a loan officer, it's not like one of those places where you have like a couple of chairs and you're just staring at each other. You know, it's not like they're really really nice, and it's all like they promote like local adoption stuff in there and everything. Like these kids need adopted stuff, and it's just really good. So I feel pretty safe with having my money in there with them, but I just don't trust big companies and shit.
Moo.
Yes, and that is absolutely correct, Dr. Cross.
Anyway,
Okay,
the place I'm with is a federal credit union, and I don't right offhand know what the difference is between a garden variety credit union and a federal credit union. If anybody
I
here
don't
knows
know. Anybody know?
I think that the main difference is that to call it a federal credit union, it has to be FDIC insured.
All right.
Ox, look it up.
Gotta say, Kabarstanta, you're gonna talk upon ye kere.
Well,
That
Junie
is Our
was
Lady
just asking,
Di,
what
and
is a
she
credit union?
Amazing.
And a credit union operates pretty much the same as a savings and loan. But the money you have deposited acts as your shares in the company.
Uh-huh.
So that anyone who has an active account can, like we say, vote on board members and such, and actually has some control over, how it's being managed.
Oh, okay, here we go. I find it something. This thing, it says gobankingrates.com says the important distinction between federal credit unions and non-federal are the way they're insured and regulated. As you said, Purple, is it federal credit unions are insured by what the hell is
FDIC is the federal
National
Deposit
Credit
Insurance
Union Fair
Corporation.
Insurance Fund, and then non-federal are not insured by that fund. Okay,
Oh, so they're not. So I don't know if they're federal or not. I guess I better find that out. Huh?
I thought credit unions were self-insured.
They can be self-insured, or they can buy into the federal insurance program. That's an option that basically the members have to pick how they're going to run it.
Yeah. So yes, Krabby, you're absolutely correct. I used to have Huntington when I financed my truck in Ohio. I ended up with Huntington. It's a really big bank over there.
Yeah.
And when I came over here, I decided, you know what? I'm sick of transferring money from my bank account over there all the time and waiting to see if they got it. Like, I just got sick of it. I was like, I want a place that's local, and if I want to walk in and pay it, I can fucking walk in and pay it, So, I came over to this place. Not only did my percentage rate go down like 3.5% on the interest of it, I'm going to pay it off in the same amount of time for like 30 some odd dollars less a month. I think it's $31, $32 less a month. Pay it off in the same amount of time. And what they considered what my truck was worth, I have $13,000 in equity on my truck, and I can walk in there and I need $13,000. So
Okay, then. Okay.
yeah, I have a really good experience with them so far. I've not had any issues. Like they're great. I don't pay any ATM fees.
Oh, God. I haven't used an ATM in halfway to forever.
Well, some small businesses,
anymore.
when they swipe your card, it's considered an ATM like withdrawal. So, like when I go to the pot shop, yes, it's legal here. I have a pot card. When I go to Red Barn Growers, they're great. The people in there are awesome. They know what they're talking about, and it's all locally grown and processed stuff, right? So it's good stuff. When I go in there and use my card, it's considered an ATM transaction.
Well,
And they're
there
the
are
only people I get $1.50 fee on, but I think it's them. I don't think it's my credit union.
yeah, there are like 5 or 6 major ATM networks in the country. You know, that the banks
Exactly,
subscribe
Ox.
to. And well, that's the reason I never closed my account when I was in New York. Was it turned out that the credit union in St. Paul was on the same ATM network as one of the ones in New York. So I could use their machines for free. It never charged me. And because of the connection they had, I could use a credit union that was in Syracuse that operated just like it was a branch of my credit union in St. Paul. You know, I could make deposits. I could go and, all the routine transactions I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like the network my place is on as well. We may be on the same network for all I know. But the damn thing, I can't even remember the PIN on my ATM card.
Yeah, but honestly, it has been extremely rare that I've had to even pay any fees for using an ATM. You know, I've just, any city I've been in, I've just found out which ones are on the same network with my credit union, and then they're all without any fees.
I agree.
Right. I want to say, Krabby, we actually have state employee credit union here. It's called exactly that, and for New Mexico, of course. And they're spread out about as much as, they only have a few branches around here, but they have ATMs everywhere. And because it's a credit union ATM, I can also use it for Del Norte. So, yeah, it came out good. I closed down all my other accounts. The 2 I had in Ohio, I shut those off. I paid off my fucking loan from building my house out.
Yeah.
So my last payment for that was in December, so that felt fucking good.
Not bad.
$469.32 a month.
Yeah, and the only requirement, is keeping a balance in an account, which it'll vary with each credit union.
Yeah.
But the one I'm at, I just have to keep $5 in savings and $5 in checking to keep the accounts active.
Well, when I opened mine back in the 90s, you needed $5 in just one of your accounts, either checking or savings.
Right.
It since went up to 50, but even that is, for me, no big deal to maintain.
Mine is -5.
Okay.
I opened up a savings account and I just took $5 out of what I put, because I went and pulled everything out of my other bank and just pulled it out with cash. And then when I closed the account, they sent me the whatever, it was like $2.06 or whatever was left over in a check. Because I couldn't get that amount in a 20, right? So I just pulled the cash out, walked over, opened an account, and said, put this in there. And they took 5 of it and put it into the savings for me. Yep. That's what I did.
No, I've got an account. I've got an account with a credit union and 2 more accounts with 2 more banks. I have more banks than Donald Trump, but there's nothing in any of the accounts.
Yeah.
You probably got more money than Donald Trump, too.
I certainly have more net worth. Yeah, I mean, I'm less negative than he is.
Oh, yeah, he lives off of financed shit. Like, he doesn't own anything.
He lives off the vendors who he didn't pay their bill.
There
Yeah,
you go. He
really.
lives off the proceeds from classified material to various
Oh, and did you
places.
Don't
hear?
get me started. You know, they're still sending out like texts and stuff saying, donate to Donald Trump and we will consider you a national patriot and shit. I have followed this lady on TikTok who her job is literally she writes about Donald Trump. That's what she does.
Yep.
For a Democratic newspaper. So she sees all this shit, and they were sending her text messages saying, donate to us and we will consider you a patriot. You will be in the Donald Trump fan club or whatever. They were just sending them out, like
bless you.
begging for money, begging. But see, that's the thing is people are still donating to his cause. He's just living off that shit.
Well, and
like
he's been,
millions of dollars a month.
He's been fighting all the subpoenas for records, but he's lost enough court cases now on that his accounting firm has abandoned them because they've said that we're not going to go into court and lie for you.
There you go.
Yeah, I did hear something.
So his accounting firm will no longer say anything about his finances. They won't deal with him anymore, just like his attorney who dutched him because he didn't pay him.
Yeah, Yeah, when is the last I heard that New York State was finally going to get his records?
Yep, that's when his accounting firm
but
said, nope, we're out.
The Manhattan DA also said that don't expect too much in the way of charges on Donald Trump. They said that today.
Damn it.
What?
Now I'm sad.
It sounds like somebody got bought, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, we expected that, but there are so many people there still in line gunning for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's like women and stuff waiting to have their shot at him. He's going to go down one way.
The New York DA even is still a lot like cracking an egg. They're just showing that his records get released publicly, that there are district attorneys in like 17 other states that are just waiting to get hold of those documents.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure there's a line of people going. Can we have them yet? Can we have them yet? Is it our turn?
Well, as soon as they can get his tax records. And, well, one of the things is that for everyone he's messed with, you don't fuck with the IRS.
Nope. That is the one entity that will bite you in the ass.
It's one of the things that they're going over in New York now. Is that, okay, he exaggerated the value of properties when he was asking for bank loans.
Yep.
And he minimized it when he was paying taxes.
Yep.
So now he's in the situation of, okay, either you defrauded your investors or you're guilty of tax evasion. It's got to be one of the two.
Right. Right.
I vote for tax evasion.
I vote for both.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's some of both.
I think it's both.
But okay, they don't care how much he should have.
Is the point.
They don't care how much he shit on all these contractors. But if he defrauded investors, well, then you might be costing the billionaires money. Then we're going to get upset.
Well, because those contracts they signed, those are held up in court of law, so those hold up. So if he lied on the contract, that's a violation. That's huge.
Yep.
That's a huge thing.
If he lied on the bank records when he was asking for loans.
Right. Or if just lying to his investors about what his part was or what he was going to, whatever. Like he just either one. Those are contracts. Like you're fucked. It's just a matter of time anyways for everything started catching up with him. You can only get away with shit like how many people over the history of just our lives have we seen try this shit and go down hard? Like he's stupid.
Al Capone.
I can't believe he's got away with it this long.
Al Capone, they could never get him on any criminal charges. They got him on tax evasion. The IRS was the only one who could nail him.
Yep. Fact. Correct.
But a lot of what they're sorting out now is, how much of it was Donald Trump Sr. and how much of it was his kids fucking around with the books.
See, but the bottom line is you're supposed to know what's going on in your own company.
Yeah.
So even
But
if
I
it's
mean,
them, they'll just go down
it's
with
just-
him. He's still
It's
responsible.
more and more attracting attention toward Ivanka and Donald Jr.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he would love for them to go down for him. I'm sure.
It's kind of funny to watch because at this point it's a question of who's going to be the first one to start throwing family members under the bus.
Right. Ivanka will be the first one because she's fucking smart. She, out of the three of them, she's the only one with any brains. She's just a fucking bitch.
She knows how to keep her mouth shut.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, out of the three of them, she is the smartest one.
Yep,
For
I would
sure,
agree.
definitely.
I felt all along
That's
that she
what
was
she
really
leans
one
on her
pulling
so
the
hard.
strings, that she was able to manipulate everyone else in the family.
Oh, I'm sure she can and will and does. I'm sure. She's not stupid. I mean, she's a bitch, but she's not stupid. That woman is highly intelligent and she knows what the fuck she's doing. That's why she's always at daddy's right hand.
And
I'm
according
telling
to
you,
daddy, she's a great piece of ass.
I guarantee you. Oh, don't even get me started on that one. I guarantee you that all the shit, the way his companies have thrived, it's because of her. I guarantee it. There's no one else in that family that could fucking do it but her.
Okay. I'm just laughing at myself because I'm realizing that
What?
it isn't my stream. I'm trying to highlight Krabby Hermit's comments and wondering why it's not working.
Okay, then.
And I thought I was the one that was high. Oh, I am. Maybe Purple is too. I don't know.
I'm getting drunk. I'm in the process.
Sweet.
I've got a very large cup of screwdrivers here.
Okay. Good. It's good. Who here likes Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation?
I don't know.
I
if
don't
I've
remember
watched
that
these
one
movies.
as well as the original.
What do you mean the original?
Well, the original Vacation movie.
Oh, was it just Vacation?
Yeah. It was originally
Okay.
just National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh,
And
okay.
Christmas
Is that the
Vacation
original
was
one
the
with
second or
Eddie?
third one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm talking about the one with Cousin Eddie in the RV.
Yeah, I know I
Yeah.
saw it. I just only remember bits of it.
Yeah. No, the part where he's ranting and raving and goddamn cock sucking son of a bitch and motherfucking fuck this shit. My God, fuck my life. He was just going off. It's like the best rant. You guys somebody should look that up and watch it. You guys watch it later. It's so good. He just it's like the best rant in the world.
Well, I
It's Chevy
saw
Chase just going off and he's got a Santa hat on and the whole family's there staring at him and his whole life is falling apart and he just can't take it anymore. It's hilarious.
just the thing I was watching, just funny things on the internet compilation, and they had a section on Christmas decorations, and they had one with half the decorations falling down, and somebody had rigged it so they had like a stuffed clothing sort of mannequin hanging from the roof line with the bottom half wiggling back and forth. It's like, yeah, that was a scene out of Christmas Vacation when he was trying to put up the lights.
Yeah, and he stapled himself to the eave.
Yeah, somebody had recreated that scene, just with a stuffed dummy hanging there. And it apparently was convincing enough that people walking by were asking the guy if he needed help.
No, they were calling 911.
See, Lady Di, this is my little kitty. See how big this dude is?
Jeez, man, I don't know.
He's
I don't
14
know how
to
you
16
didn't get
pounds. I'm
flattened
not
over
sure.
there.
I'm not sure, but he's 14 to 16 pounds, somewhere in there.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, and then my female's 12 to 14. But he's longer
this
than
little
her.
one over here, she's not as small as she used to be, but she's still under 10.
Yeah.
What do you weigh, honey?
Oh,
8?
has she finally gotten over 6?
Yeah, actually, she's been for a while.
Good.
Yeah, my Miranda never got over 6. She
Oh,
died
I'm
at
surrounded by cat
100.
freaks. Oh, yeah.
Diana has a tiny pussy.
That's a
Yeah,
good
she's got a little tiny pussy,
I,
right?
I, I have stayed at her
I got
house. I
big
can
furry
verify it.
pussies. I got thick furry pussies. Actually, Lady Di, they are not overweight at all. They just have that little bit of loose skin from, getting the surgery done. How that kind of flops a little bit. They get a little waddle on the
Yeah.
bottom. It's like this
Right.
long. Yeah, but besides that, they have no fat on. They're solid muscle. Like they're really healthy.
And that
I
tummy
love that
bulge
cat
is
food. I swear
normal
to
for
God, if they
cats.
quit making it. Go ahead, Purple. I'm sorry.
That soft tummy bulge there, that kind of hangs down. That's normal for
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah, that's all they have, and they're 3 years old now.
Sloth Girl's cat
This month.
Petunia is close to 20 pounds, but clearly she's like at least half Maine Coon. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I used to be had by a Maine Coon mix, and I tell you, he was the most lovable kitty in the entire world. He got rescued from beneath a wooden stairs to the outside door of a building, and he went through a case of kitty pneumonia, unfortunately, when he was a kitten, and that kind of shortened his life. He died at the age of 3, but I'll tell you, it was a very grateful 3 years that he had me.
that's good.
He would just put the paws up on the thigh and just drape, look up with those big eyes. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I love you too, honey.
But you made his last couple of years to be good and comfortable.
Yeah,
That's the best you can do.
He unfortunately died of acute kidney failure.
Aw.
Yeah.
It was just a few days. I think it was about 3 days from the onset of symptoms to his death.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what's changed here, but when I was in Michigan, unless it's got that much to do with my mood improving, but Sammy just kind of laid around all the time, and that was about it. And now it's like, every night he gets the zoomies, and it's like, sometimes I just hear him crashing into things because he's running so fast he can't make the turns.
Okay.
So I got myself a little a gun that fires like foam Nerf balls, just an air pressure gun. So it's like, when he's meowing, they want attention, and I'm in the middle of something, I just fire around down the hallway and let him chase the balls.
We got everybody let us know, cats or dogs.
Dogs.
Both.
I do that, Jenny. I could tell. Both. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, I would have dogs, except in a small apartment. I think it's unfair to them. They need room to run.
They do need room to run, and honestly, I feel the same way, and that's one of the reasons I picked. Well, the other thing
that's
too,
why
cats,
they have dog parks.
You can leave for a weekend, leave for 3 days and 2 nights. Cats don't care. They're like, food, water, peace out, bro. So I'll leave food for like 3 days worth or 2 days worth, and if I stay an extra day, I'll have, my landlords come over and give them some extra food or something. But usually I leave them way too much. God.
Yeah, there's that too.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, when I ended up in hospital,
yeah, you can leave.
Well, this one, when I ended up in hospital, then you came out, Purple, and let me think now. I went into hospital on Tuesday. You came out on Thursday, right?
Yeah, and she just hid for 2 days until Diana got back home.
Yeah.
It's like I'd occasionally hear her, but I never quite figured out where she was at.
What kind of horse, Leah?
Yeah, well, horses are another one that they'd be lovely to have, but yeah, you need a big enough fenced area for them to run around.
Well, Clydesdale,
when I was a kid, we had a chestnut mare And then we also had we had two, shoot, I just had it, Chesapeake Bays.
They
Oh,
were
they
also
were beautiful. My God, the brown on them was just, oh, it was like a nice dark brown with a red tinge in the sun. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what breed were they?
I'm sorry.
What breed were they? Were they quarters, Morgans, Appaloosas, Mustangs?
Fuck. I don't know that much about horses. Just a regular horse.
Yeah.
What part of the country were you in?
They weren't work horses. They were riding horses.
What part of the country were you in?
We were in West Virginia when Mom bought those.
Good chance they're quarter horses or Morgans.
I think they're quarter horses. I really do. I don't know a bunch of fancy shit, but I'm pretty sure they were quarter horses. And they were all around 17 hands high.
Well, quarter horses should only have one leg
That's all I
each,
know.
right?
right.
No, they're called that. They're named that because of their speed in the quarter mile.
Yeah, I know.
We actually had a Palomino.
And who invented the
pony
breed of the Morgan horse? Huh? The quarter horse. Justin Morgan, my nephew. Never mind.
He's just kidding us over here. What is he wish over here?
Never mind.
Come on up here, honey. Come on.
Krabby, do you have a room for a couple of horses on the mountain? Ooh, Leah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'd be less
Horses could be
interested in riding
expensive, though.
horses. Then I'd like to have, something like a pair of Shire ponies. I'd be more interested in ones that could pull a cart.
We had a family growing up that was friends with our family. And all of us kids were friends with the kids that were comparable ages from that family. We'd get together and we'd all pair off by 3-year age groups, I guess. But anyways, so they had a miniature pony. And she was just the cute little sweetest thing. She wasn't mean. She was really sweet. And you go to scratch her and she'd just rub up against your hand real gentle. She was a sweetheart. And I think they got it for the kids to ride when they were little, and the damn thing was just still alive and the kids were grown, So they just had this pony that wandered around and had that longer mane and all that shit.
Where I lived in Michigan, it was literally a one-horse town. Down the road from my mother, there was a woman who had a single horse and a mule. And that was it.
What a bad idea.
That's what I'm saying, Krabby. Horses are expensive. Maintaining this and make sure that and clean,
just the regular
you file
vet
down their
checkups.
hooves and you got to reshoe them. And I've helped with all that shit. It's not something it's not easy. It takes a lot of time and it's expensive. So, horses are luxury items unless you're using them to plow with like the Amish. Otherwise, they're luxury items. Oh, yeah, the vet bills. Yeah, Leah. Vet bills are crazy.
That's the way my grandparents got by.
Because most of the time, you get
in the 1920s and 30s, my grandfather had a pair of draft horses. So that's, basically everyone on that side of the county depended on him to bring them around to plow the fields in the spring.
Fuck them, Krabby. Fuck them. Yeah, yeah, because if you're doing stuff like plowing with them or you're hauling logs for the fire and you don't have to buy equipment. I grew up with people that did that with their horses all the time. I knew people that rode their horse everywhere because we were out in the middle of the country. And why drive your vehicle? The guy's a mile up the road. They just jump on the horse, come up and see you. And so if you're using them all the time like that, then they're worth the expense. Okay, it'll pay for itself. But if you're just doing it so you can ride them once in a while and that's all you're using them for, it's expensive. Fred's pet horse lived on this acreage before I bought it. Aww.
I had a friend here in Minnesota that when he bought a house
Yes.
with a couple of acres, that part of the
Yeah.
sale contract specified that he had to tend to 3 sheep and 2 llamas until they rehomed them. They came with the property until they could find a new home for them.
I love it. I love it. Ball busting bitch. Oh yeah, I said it. I'm not worried. I don't have them yet. Eventually I'll be worried, but not right now.
All for it.
Hey, can I change the subject?
No.
Go, Jenny, please do. I'm done with that one.
No, I'm sorry. I was told no.
Oh,
Jenny,
come on.
when were you ever that obedient?
Yeah, really. When did
At the
the
bottom,
tonight?
I've always
It started
been
tonight.
obedient.
Nobody pays attention to me anyway.
Okay.
It started tonight.
For those of you who were on in the chat for Purple Show earlier today, there's been some interesting developments. Not good. Very, 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 very bad, actually.
What do you? I don't know what happened. I was working.
Okay, well, we were talking about the privacy laws, what the government is doing to transgender people in various states, how Georgia is going to try to knock down the whole concept of privacy so that they can start monitoring your bedrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, Oklahoma's right behind them.
Well, Georgia is actually making it happen. So, anyways, that's all bad and nasty. And so we talked about that for a little bit. Now, what happened this afternoon is, as you may know, Texas recently passed laws, of course, against trans kids participating in sports.
Yeah.
But they also passed laws that does things like puts doctors in jail for treating transgender kids and banning them to have any kind of treatment. And today, the DA or the Attorney General of Texas gave the interpretation of their new laws that they've all passed, that treating transgender children on any level by any person, including parents, is abuse. And anybody caught doing so will go to jail. And the child will be taken into custody and be put through detransitioning. Okay?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The governor took that and wrote an executive order to make it happen. So this is now the law in Texas. Okay. So, this afternoon we tried to discuss how important it is for people to get busy and to stand up and be counted. Because terrible things would happen. Well, this is the terrible things that is going to happen. And it is happening now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
This cannot be ignored. This is going to when these children are taken off of treatment for their transgender, you can expect 40% of them to kill themselves.
Yeah, I know.
There will be blood on the hands of the entire Texas legislature and government.
Not to mention the fact that when some of them don't get the health care they need, they will self-mutilate too.
Now, what's clear already is that this law, this network of bullshit that Texas has passed, it's all unconstitutional. Okay, yeah. There's no doubt. I mean, people from the ACLU, both nationally and in the state of Texas, say this will not stand. This is bullshit. But there's a lag time between when this goes into effect and when lawsuits start and injunctions can be passed and
that could be 2 years.
This stuff to stop happening. Exactly. It can take a couple of years, and in the meantime, children will be hurt badly Parents will be put in jail. Families will be broken up.
Yeah,
I was
and
dead serious this morning when we
afraid
talk
to
about
make
it, and I
mistakes.
wish people would hear my words and start writing your damn legislatures. You have to write a letter and mail it with a stamp to their office. That's what they listen to. Tell them that you're not going to make a donation, or that if they pass it, you will give a donation. You know, they respond to that. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to get out and vote, and you have to get out at least 2 or 3 people that you know don't vote and get them to vote.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way the Democrats are going to win in 2022. So we don't lose the Constitution of this nation. The Constitution is in question right now. These people want to end it. They want a theocracy. Okay, they want authoritarian rule. They want one party rule, and it's going to happen. They've been working towards this since 1980. This is the culmination. Okay, it is happening. Get out and vote. Talk, yell, scream.
And almost everywhere in the country, Democrats outnumber Republicans.
Yes.
Democrats lose elections because people don't show up to vote.
Okay. Now, I've been talking all about trans people. Well, that's because we're the ones who are being affected right now. Don't think it's going to stop there. They've already verbalized, and actions have already been taken to end gay marriage, to put gay people back in the closet, to basically liquidate us all from the face of society. They want us gone.
Yep.
And they're going to do it. And if they develop a theocracy, they can do it. They can do whatever they want. They can execute people.
And one by one, they're going to single out different minority groups and eliminate them.
So you are at risk as well as I am. Your number just hasn't come up yet, but it's going to. And if you have any gay friends or gay family members, their number is going to happen a whole lot sooner than yours. And I'm done talking.
Yeah, but it's something that can't be under stressed. People need to get out. They need to let their legislatures know that, we're not going to just sit and wait for this to happen.
Remember, if every trans person in the United States wrote a letter, it would only account for 0.6%, 0.6 of 1% of the population. We need you, or we are dead. Literally dead.
So we're dead. That's it. We are dead. We are.
I tell people that all the time. Every time a cis person or cishet person wants to sit there and talk about trans stuff with me, I'm like, look, you are our biggest asset. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, look at black people. Do you think a black guy walking up to a white guy and saying, no, black people aren't bad, they're cool, do you think he's going to listen to him? Or is he going to listen to a redneck that looks just like him? Those are the people that need to be convinced. And we need all the people that are like them, that agree with us and are our advocates. They need to convince their friends and family. And then they need to convince the people they work with. And that if they did that, if they just talked about it like it's no big deal, whatever, they're cool, it doesn't affect me, whatever. That is, the word of mouth is the biggest advertisement ever. We get 2 to 6 phone calls every single day. People saying, can I be a new patient? I heard your practice is amazing. Can I be Heather Neal's patient? Yeah, I'm bragging on my girlfriend. Can I be Heather Neal's patient? All the time. 2 to 6 people every single day. It's insane. And that's all word of mouth. We're not advertised anywhere. It's just all the patients talking to, oh, you need a provider? Go to Full Circle. It's all word of mouth. And we're going to be flooded with people. Heather's thinking about bringing in a 4th provider because we have so many patients that we're going to be swamped. It's just crazy. Anyways, I'm done.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
No, you were great, Jenny. And just so you know, I wasn't ignoring you. I have Bluetooth. So when I went and took a piss, I took you with me. I heard everything you said. And no, I know. Shit's not good. You know, I always find those online petitions and stuff to stop something, and I'll find them and I'll sit there fucking for an hour and fill those fuckers out. I don't give a shit. 2 hours. I have a buddy on TikTok who links everything that's current, and he's like on the ball every day with it because he's like an older retired dude. And I just go onto his link tree, and he's got all the petitions that are current there. I do it all the time. It's a hobby of mine. That's what it is. I'm like, what are they trying to do? Oh no, fuck no. I'm sign up, do this petition. And you can get caught in that shit too. It's kind of like TikTok, because then it'll say, would you like to sign this petition? And then you read about it and you're like, fuck yeah, I want to. Put all your information again.
Yeah, unfortunately, with a lot of those online petition sites, you have to be real careful about what you're signing. You know, because a lot of them can make the first paragraph sign real appealing. And if you don't read beyond that, you don't realize that you might be supporting some things that aren't really very good. I killed the conversation again.
Easy my not annoying on the thing.
I was crinkling plastic, so I muted myself. If we stop them from this now, what will stop them next time or the time after that? We can't keep the other party in power forever. No, you're right, Mage. And, you know, I think it's really... I think the biggest thing right now is teaching our younger generations to be as vocal as they can be.
Okay, what we can do right now
hold on.
is...
Please don't interrupt me. Hold on.
All right, hurry up.
I think we need to... Young lady. I think we need to empower our younger generations to fucking speak their damn mind. Because these kids these days, most of them are not putting up with this bullshit. Like, for instance, Heather's 16-year-old and his friends that are all like 15 through 17 years old. They are all against all of the shit that we are against. They are for all the stuff we're for. And they're like, this is bullshit. I hate this fucking school because they're trying to promote something that's not right. And they are very vocal and they will say shit. Okay, they have like this sexist shit going, these little rally things and stuff going on to earn money and get donations and blah, blah, blah. And her kids just rebel against it every fucking time because they're like, this is fucking stupid. Anyways. My point is that the younger generations is our hope of let the old guys die off and get some younger fucking blood in there that gives a fuck about everybody. That's what we need. And not their pocket.
Right now in the Congress, the House of Representatives passed a, well, basically for simplifying it all, an LGBT equality rights bill. And it got through the House, no problem, because the House is Democrat controlled. And it got to the Senate, and it has completely stalled. If that were to get passed, of course, Biden is going to sign it. But it's in that quagmire of, you know, a 50-50 vote or a 49-51 vote. We have got to get that passed before the elections in 2022. We just have to, or it will never see the light of day again.
Yeah,
And if that
unfortunately,
law
we do
passes,
have...
that all of the shit that these states are pulling right now is moot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We
Fair
do
enough.
have two people in the Senate who, while they're listed as Democrats, are acting like Republicans. So it's making it so that the Democrats can't even get the 51 votes for anything.
Yeah. So if you're in a state that has a one or two red senators, and you probably do, those are the people you need to be approaching right now. They are the ones you have to demand pass this bill. They're the ones you got to threaten.
Agreed, Ox. Agreed. I think a cap should be created. Nobody grandfathers in, and they're done. They're retired. Get them the fuck out of there. Bring in some new blood.
Right, but getting this bill passed is a more important issue right now.
No, you're right. I was just agreeing with the chat. Hi, Dave.
Yeah.
It's just fucked up shit. What is wrong with people? I
Well,
just don't even know
Pennsylvania-
why anybody cares. Like, what do you care what other people are doing with their bodies in their bedroom? Who the fuck do you care? Why is it your business? Why are you so... I'm a Christian, but you're so focused on sex. Like, get all... The fuck are you... I don't even get that. You are just hyper-focused on sex. You see anything that looks like that's phallic, and all of a sudden it's prohibited, and they have to redo the fucking
Yeah,
emblem
because
or the
sex out of marriage
icon
is
or
going to
whatever.
offend their God.
It's fucking ridiculous. No, but they talk about sex more than we do. Like, literally. It's insane. I'm like, how can you be like, oh, we're Christian, we're better than you? Really? Because you're kind of a dick.
There's this guy right now on Twitter who has been obsessing about people's genitals and bathrooms for 3 days. All fucking day. For 3 days. The guy doesn't even have a job, apparently. You know, it's like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Mage, the more the government divides us by, you know, talking about certain topics and getting people riled up, and they keep going over and over again, just watch. All year long, there's a fucking pattern of racism, LGBTQ issues, and then they'll go into, you know, like patriotic shit. Just watch. It just cycles through. And if you see all the major genres and realize it's like a little wheel. So, sorry, I get so mad.
Well, again, like I say, the reason the Democrats lose elections is because people think it's not worth bothering to vote. So anything we can do to increase voter turnout, it's shown, you know, over and over throughout history. A high voter turnout elects mostly Democrats. A low voter turnout elects mostly Republicans.
The number one thing everybody's going to hear as we approach this,
Yes.
as we approach this election, like we do every election, every time there's a get out the vote situation where we have to register people. They always say this classic line, which is just one of the stupidest things in the world you can say. Oh, well, both parties are pretty much the same thing. No, they are not. You got one party over here that is trying to take away rights, which is trying to end family connections, which is trying to cause children to be sick in such a situation that they may kill themselves, to take away rights that they have now.
Yep.
And another party that gives people rights.
Yeah.
How more different can you be?
The Republicans are actively trying to eliminate personal freedoms.
No matter what their campaign freedom, liberty bullshit is, the reality is that they are trying to take away freedom.
100%.
And that's what you can tell people when they say, well, you know, they're pretty much the same. No, they're not. And this is why.
No, it's not even close.
Yep. And if you don't believe that, you have never looked at the voting record of your representatives.
Right. Like, this guy wrote up a Republican agenda for when he's going to run for something. I don't know if it was Congress or House or I don't know. And it is literally, it was like it was written by Trump, but with more intelligence. It was all
That's
about
easy.
the wall. He wants to name it after Trump.
Sixth
He's
grader
going to
could do
stop
that.
all this stupid mask shit and vaccine crap, right? Blah, blah. It was like Trump fucking wrote it.
Well, Mitch McConnell has
It's
said
the
publicly.
the current Republican rhetoric, and it's been like that for like, God, I don't even know how. I can't remember. Go ahead.
Mitch McConnell has said publicly that the Republicans' only platform is to block anything that Biden wants. That's it. They have no proposals. They're not even making any promises or any claims about what they'll do when they're in power. They're just saying that they're going to prevent Biden from accomplishing anything. That's it.
And so far, Biden has fulfilled everything he promised he would.
In which case, not very much has changed in the last 10 years because that was McConnell's purpose, although not publicly stated, back in 2008. I mean, George Voinovich,
Yep.
when he was a senator, stated that McConnell issued orders that whatever it was that the Dems advanced, it had to be opposed, even if it helped everybody generally.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, and the thing that's really sickening is the infrastructure bill that passed that was scaled back to 1/3 the size it started at.
Mhm.
And while virtually all the Republicans voted against it, now all the Republicans are going back to their home district and talking about how great this infrastructure plan is, how it's going to improve things, how it's going to create so many jobs in their district, even though they voted against it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, they are counting on nobody knowing who's doing what to whom and for how much. Yeah.
Can you imagine having somebody like that for a boss who takes credit for everything you do?
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen that before.
Yeah. The Republicans in the Senate are just counting on the fact that their voters will never look at their voting record.
Yeah. You know, the thing about that is, though, I swear everybody I've ever looked at, it's all the same. It's all, they did these that are mediocre. They did this one that you're like, what the fuck? And then this one over here, you're like, wow, that's great. But I mean, I don't know. Most of them
No,
are
they're
a
not.
bunch of shit.
They're not. See, that's what you're saying, is that they're all the same. They're not. The
No,
difference
I'm
between
saying
these parties has been going on for our entire lives. The Republicans have been removing rights or fighting people getting equal rights for our entire lives. They fought against racial desegregation. They fought against gay marriage. Okay, they fought against elderly rights. They fought against disability rights, worker rights.
They are to some extent different. I do agree with that. The Republicans are actively taking rights away, and the Democrats are actively not prohibiting it, not standing in the way.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm spending too much
and
time
no
looking at
action
Democrat
is bad.
voting records.
It's bad action.
I mean, I don't investigate the Republicans because I hate them. I don't even want to look at them. If I read something online about them, I get fucking mad.
Well, you need to investigate. That's the problem. You need to look at both what both are doing.
I would be
Right.
screaming fuck the Democrats if they had 54, 56 people in the Senate. But they don't. They have 50-50. And no party is going to be able to do anything with that kind of split.
Yeah,
And
if they
the
had
thing,
52, 54 people that they could get people passed, that they could get bills passed, and they weren't getting anything done, yeah, I'd be bitching about that.
And that's where the fascists have really taken a step ahead, where they've got the country to the point where no legislation can be passed, none can be enacted without a considerable majority on one side. An even split isn't going to get you anywhere the way it might have in 1976.
Right.
So,
And by the way, folks, the filibuster, that this cherished filibuster that everybody's talking about, oh, you know, it's historical perspective. Filibuster's only been around for about 80, 90 years. Okay?
Yep.
It is not an ancient thing. It's not from the Constitution or the Continental Congress. It's
Right.
something recent. And it can be ended. And everything will be just fine. If the Democrats were smart, they would end the filibuster, take the votes that they need to get, and then reinstall the damn filibuster.
Well, what's going to happen is when the filibuster is not ended and the Republicans get their majority, both of which are going to happen, by the way, then the Republicans are immediately going to end it.
Well, that's the first thing we got to do is stop talking about that they're going to take over. That's negative thinking, and you're just going to cause it to happen with that kind of talk.
They
Not
already
you
have.
personally.
They already have.
No, they haven't. There is
They
hope.
sure are trying hard, but they haven't got it yet.
Yeah, there's absolutely hope. You know, they said there was a whole lot of people said Biden wasn't going to win, and he won by a freaking landslide.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was laughing about the numbers, like, ha ha, dickhead.
You know, let's keep in mind that we're in the 80th kind of percentile for the citizenry that does not want privacy rights taken away, that does not want guns just everywhere willy-nilly, that wants all these progressive things to happen. You're in the 80th kind of percentile for many of these issues.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to get people to focus on that and cast their vote based on that.
Yeah, you're right. I honestly don't even know anybody that doesn't vote. Like, even like where I work, people are like, oh, I'll be back in a little bit and I got to run down and do this vote for this local blah, 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 blah. Cool, man. Where's that at? I didn't know that was happening. Yep, it happens. That's one of the reasons I love where I work. It's like, you know, all inclusive, loving, cool, give a fuck about people. I got so you sick of working with like corporate stooges that were yes men and then would stab you in the back when you weren't fucking looking because you did nothing wrong but your job. That's what kept happening to me. Some guy would get mad. I was doing my job too good. I was doing his part of his too good. He was not doing shit. Then he get mad at me, and then I go down. So I've quit a lot of jobs because of that shit. It's ridiculous.
That's why I went back to being self-employed. I couldn't deal with the office politics. I couldn't play those games.
Right. I'm not a corporate stooge. I can't do it. I like really have like this brain that likes to think for itself. The best I ever did when I owned my own companies. Because I made the fucking rules and everything went fucking good and everybody was fucking happy. You know, people want to, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but.
And Ox is right. Unfortunately, you can't really say that Biden won by a landslide. It really was just a few percentage points.
I don't care. He still won.
And the thing is,
I thought about it for a second. I don't care.
And the thing is that if you get the majority of the popular vote nationwide, you're still not guaranteed of winning at least the presidential election.
Right.
It goes both ways. You can win a presidential election with a minority of voters, and you can lose with a majority because it is fucking electoral college.
Yep.
But remember, the electoral
that's
college
the
can
first
only
thing
be
that needs
done
to go
away
bye-bye.
with a constitutional convention or a bill or an amendment to the Constitution,
Yeah, that's the problem.
because it is part of the Constitution.
Yes, it is true that the Electoral College can only be eliminated that way. What can be done on a state-by-state basis is getting state legislatures to pass the law that the electors are obligated to vote in line with how the majority of their state voted.
Yeah,
Well,
see, that's never going to happen, though.
The Supreme Court is already positioning to rule that unconstitutional.
That will never happen, because there's a whole bunch of states that are historically red and are going to stay that way. Remember, there's states that are talking about secession right now.
Yeah. It's not going to happen in every state. It can, with some pressure, be passed in some states that don't yet have it. There are some states that already have that written in.
It's amazing how far these assholes get with the rhetoric about the number of states that don't have that cannot produce them. You have the population in the interior doesn't match the population on the coasts. And do you want the country to go in the direction of the people on the coast? The problem here is this: the majority of people live where the majority of people live. It doesn't matter. A majority is a majority. That's it. And the people in the middle of the country are behind by what, 40, 50 years, and that's their problem. If we
It's not
near the coasts are going to drag the rest of the country into the 21st century, I guess that's what we have to do.
if you look at the maps that the Republicans love to pass around, this one where they turn all the counties red that voted Republican, and so they draw them all in and color them red, and then they color in the blue ones, and you see that the blue is all around the major metropolitan areas, and the rest of the country, the huge majority of the country, is red, but that's only talking about space, not population.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. And so people are fooled by this map that goes around. Oh well, the Republicans are going to win. No, they're not.
And the thing is, you show them that is not that their position is not the case. You show them that what is represented on those maps is land rather than people, and they still argue with you.
When you actually count the number, I heard the statistic and I don't remember it, so I can't quote it, but it was very impressive. It counted the actual number of counties that are red versus number of counties that are blue, but then actually counted on the populations within those colors and what kind of density there is. And it was quite remarkable as to how much of a difference there is between blue and red. Blue has it all over the map if the blues vote. And that's the Democrats' biggest problem is people sitting back because it's raining outside.
That's why I was saying that, yeah, Democrats outnumber Republicans in almost every area. They just don't show up on election day.
Yep.
And that's part of why, when we had early voting and we had mail-in voting in most of the states, that the Democrats pulled out an edge from that. Because, if people could cast their ballot and just, drop it off somewhere or put it in a mailbox and not have to show up on a specific day, they got a much higher turnout.
Republicans are very, very good at organizing. They're very, very bad at running a government.
Yeah.
Well, this is why another of the areas where the fascists are really putting an effort is making sure that the populace cannot afford to vote. They cannot take off work to go to the ballot for fear of losing what little salary they have and what little they have. I mean, it's very effective.
Yeah, that was me for a few years. I couldn't afford to miss one day of work, literally. At the end of the month, I would have like $30 or something like that for cigarettes, and that was it. I couldn't miss one day.
Or me on my fixed Social Security income running out of money dependably every month around the 25th.
Yeah.
Well, and especially the people who didn't even have a full-time job that were trying to work 2 part-time jobs.
Yeah.
That, just to juggle to be able to get to the polling place. Yeah, it was a logistics nightmare for some people.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're making it so much easier now that you can't give people water if they're standing in line on a hot summer day, and taking away all the drop boxes. It's pure racism, but they're able to use language well enough to make it sound like it's not.
Yeah.
Don't be duped by these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I still don't get what the justification was that they couldn't give water to people standing in line.
Well, they start to blame campaigning, that if you're giving water, that you're campaigning to people who are in line to vote, which is illegal in virtually every district in the country. That you can't be within a certain distance of the polling place and be pushing a party or a candidate, and that's fine. That's a great law. But they're warping it to bring other things in to say that, well, if you're giving water, then you're campaigning.
Yeah, even if you give water to everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dave, in the United States, they cannot stop you from going to vote. It is illegal. But they don't have to pay you while you vote.
Or they don't
Now,
have to let you
worked for a
keep your
couple of
job.
companies. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have worked for a couple of companies that, say go ahead and run down real quick, and we'll just leave you on the clock. But that's rare. It's really rare. 3 hours, yeah.
I think isn't it Australia that has a national holiday for vote?
Yeah, a lot of
I think
countries
Germany does too.
A federal holiday.
It should be.
Absolutely. You would get a turnout like you would not believe.
See, I've always lived in like smaller areas, like suburb towards rural. So wherever I always go to vote, it's always a small place and it's never crowded. So I'm in and out in like maybe an hour. That's fast.
I intentionally, when I was living in the city, I was in one of the very densest voting districts. I would very deliberately get up and be the first person in line. And I'd stand in line maybe a half an hour waiting for the doors to open. But then you're in and out in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. I've worked as an election judge in 3 states and incidentally been sworn in as a judge for both parties at various times. But yeah, it's always been like smaller cities or suburban areas. I was never in the really densely populated things.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, sometimes we had a line out the door, but it was never, like a quarter mile, half mile things that you see now.
I'm entranced by something. Leah, why is your middle name Sugar Britches?
I'm not touching that one, Leah. You're on your own. Sugar Britches. I don't know. Sugar Britches didn't used to be there. I don't know where that came from.
She doesn't really have to answer. I'm just playing with her.
Oh,
I don't know her. I don't know her at all.
Well, but if she's putting it right in her name, she gotta expect people to ask about it.
Right.
Well, I suppose. Right, but
I'm sure she's typing out a response as we speak. So.
Yeah, since I've always registered as an independent, that when I volunteered as an election judge, they decided they could swear me in for either party because they always required to have 2 judges from each party to open the polling place. So they just swear me in for whoever they were short on.
There you go, Jenny. Someone called me that, and I added it as a joke on them.
And I love your Blue Jay.
Tubian, of course. Britches like sugar.
Yeah. Blue jays, for their size, are some of the nastiest birds you will ever meet.
They are, man. They're mean.
I really I love
you're in their territory. They will not let up.
We had this bird feeder at our shop, hanging in this tree right in front of the door, and we keep the doors open, working on cars in the summer and stuff. So we were always able to see it, and you'd get all these birds, all the sparrows and tits and all that other kind of stuff, diving into the bird feeder and having a great old time. And then a couple of times a day, the local blue jay would come in, scare the fuck out of everybody, clear the bird feeder, and then he'd just kind of like stand there like Mussolini on the balcony going, yeah, I'm the boss. I'm the boss. And then he'd take off. The whole purpose of being there was just to scare the fuck out of everybody.
Well, my landlords, they have a tree in their front yard that the blue jays love whatever falls off of that. I'm not sure what kind of tree it is. I don't remember. Something that's indigenous mainly to this area. But anyway, so I was out there with my brother one day, and he's working on some plumbing shit, and we were like, we were running electrical line, new electrical all the way out to this casita. It's 450 feet. Anyways, so I turned around. I was like, man, look at those blue jays. He's like, yeah, I know. And there was like 40 of them. I'll send you the video, Jenny. It's pretty cool. and they're all like all over this tree and on the ground and fluttering around in this one little area. And then I moved my foot or something, and they all took off, and I got it on video. It's pretty fucking cool. You can hear the wind blowing and shit.
I see. I never thought that blue jays were the kind of bird that would hang out with together. I thought they were too
Yeah,
independent.
no,
You know, me
I never
too,
knew
but
them to
I'm
be in
talking like
flocks that.
at least 40 birds, at least.
Yeah. Did anybody see that film of those yellow-headed blackbirds that all dropped from the sky?
Yes, I saw that.
What the fuck was that all about?
From
Did they
what?
figure out what happened?
It was only that type of bird?
Yeah, there was a flock of them, and all of a sudden
Okay.
this mad rush of them fell from the sky in one big blob of bird and dropped dead on the street. And a lot of them
Wow.
flew away, but a whole bunch of them, I think they counted several hundred that just flat out died and were dead there.
It's wait a minute.
You
It's
saw
the one in
you saw my
Arkansas,
video,
right?
Lena?
Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Blackbird deaths explained. Smithsonian bird curator weighs in. Says, what the fuck is this panel? I hate these panels that open over the page you just opened.
He said,
The
what the
official
fuck?
cause of death of the estimated 4,000 to 5,000 red-winged blackbirds found in the town of Beebe, Arkansas. Oh,
No.
sorry. No, this is 2011.
Yeah,
Sorry
that's
about that.
not the right one.
Right. No, yeah, they were
Guy
yellow-headed
who here
blackbirds.
says they thinks it's something to do with the electrical lines.
Ox
Well,
said he thought he heard that it was
over a
something to
city.
do with a methane like bubble pocket in the air, and they flew into it.
I could kind of see that because, for a bird to stay in flight, they need a lot of oxygen coming in.
Yeah,
Well, they
really
should be
do.
able to do
I
some
could kinda see it
toxicology.
being some kind of gas cloud.
They should be able to do some toxicology and discover that.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed,
Yeah, they shouldn't
Leah.
be
I
able to
grew up
test
with
like ones
cardinals
that died.
in the snow.
Yeah, cardinals are really cool.
They are. They're beautiful. They're huge in Virginia and West Virginia. Huge.
Okay, now wait a minute here. Yeah, okay, it's this one. Is it the one where they died airborne above Chihuahua?
Yes, that sounds like it. That's it.
Okay, let's see now. Let's see if anything is said here in this NBC News article. Suddenly, simultaneous. God damn it! These windows that open.
There was a lot of speculation on the day that it happened, but I haven't heard if anybody
Oh, I love
figured
Lady
it out.
Di.
Ox said it said something about small quake, fault lines, and gas release.
That's a possible. Yes, it says here in this article, Dateline 15 February. While many of the birds that were headed south from Canada, where they had spent the winter, recovered from the fall and flew away, dozens of them were dead and did not move. Well, yeah, you usually don't move very much if you're dead.
Right.
But then a
They could
veterinarian
have stopped
suspected
at
the birds
dead.
either inhaled toxic fumes from a heater or might have fallen victim to nearby power lines. Yeah, okay. I remember a case where a rather poorly regulated radio station killed shitloads of birds because they were putting out so much power from a tower. That was a long time ago. I can
Yeah, but why would it be just that one? Why did it happen that day? Why not days before and days after? That doesn't make sense.
Knowing unfortunado.
Well, I think what Ox is saying about it maybe being a small quake that released a gas bubble from the ground.
Yeah, that's the first I've heard that. Unless that's Ox is just surmising at this point.
Well,
Dave
and
said
that also
they
makes
said it was
me wonder the next question of, was that an area where they do fracking? So could it have that they'd been fracking?
It was in
and
Mexico.
That it then released the natural gas.
It was in Mexico. There's no fracking going on there.
Okay.
All the fracking is happening in Oklahoma and Nebraska and shit.
So Dave said they said that it was a predator bird attacked that was attacked from above. The birds evaded and a bunch hit the ground and died. And then Krabby said, "Are you talking about the big flock that was driven into the ground?"
Yeah, no, these birds were not flying into the ground; they were dropping. You could see it clearly on
Just
the
dropping
video.
out of the sky. Okay, that's
Yeah.
not the same. That's not the same story then.
And whatever comment was just last, yes, that's the one we're talking about. Well, I still want to know what they think happened. It really bothers me that went on.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen like there's places in nature where there are pockets of carbon dioxide that is just they sit in a valley. It sits in a valley or a depression in the land for one reason or another, and humans can walk into it. Of course, it's odorless, colorless, and you're walking into it, and all of a sudden you have no oxygen. You drop dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. Not.
Well, yeah, that you can asphyxiate, and one of the problems with when you start losing oxygen to your brain is it impairs your normal reasoning function to figure out what's going on.
Yep. And
Sorry about that.
methane might make sense, you know, at a fault line and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
it sounds plausible, but it sounds like it would be an awful lot of rare situations all at once.
I don't know if it's got me remembering a Far Side cartoon.
Uh-oh.
Right. Well, the
Right, yeah,
background, the background's an airport with this plane in flames, and in the foreground there's a bird holding a microphone and another bird with a camera, and they're saying, we do not yet know the name of the bird who was sucked through the engine.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
That's hilarious. Hey, Bolt. What's up, buddy? Sent you a link, the last link on the ATS DM.
Who's that?
Bolt. Boltarian.
Oh,
yeah, my
the
buddy
screw.
Bolt.
Well, and then there's that solar concentrator array in California that just lights the birds on fire in midair.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's a step up from the Alka-Seltzer trick.
Well, it's a step up from all the wind farms that just find the dead birds laying on the ground from having hit the turbines.
Well, fortunately, it's in the middle of the freaking desert, and so there's not a whole lot of bird population around there.
No, not really.
And
but that's not true though, Jetty. There's wind turbines everywhere. I've seen them in fucking Upper Pennsylvania.
We're not talking wind turbines. We're talking about the solar.
Yeah, she was
collector.
talking the solar concentrator.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but one thing we don't have anymore, the MLB used to have a bird killer in Randy Johnson. Look that up on.
Oh yeah. He nailed that pigeon right in mid pitch. I remember that. That was damn
100-mile fastball into a pitch.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Randy Johnson was this killer pitcher, and they were televising a game, and he lets go of this pitch, and as the pitch goes out, a pigeon flies right in the right spot, and it just gets nailed by this 100-mile-an-hour hard ball, and boom, this big explosion of feathers, dead bird.
I remember that now. I remember that. Yep.
Oh man,
they showed that for like 2 weeks on the fucking sports shit.
Yeah, and Dave is saying the microwave tower at the U.S. Air Base in Washington fries a couple of birds a day. That when they need to service it, somebody has to go out with a shovel to scoop off the dead birds.
Well, back in Milwaukee, I remember the First Wisconsin Center, which was a 42-story building with lots of glass that reflects.
Yeah.
Was discussing how, in terms of its lethality for birds, how they would have to send out a person every morning to pick up dead birds off the ground because they'd fly into the building and die.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a big problem there because Milwaukee's right in the middle of the Lake Michigan, the Great Lakes Flyway.
Yep, it's true. It's a good point.
And why do birds fly at night? They shouldn't do that.
Yeah, like
Well, they're
really,
following,
guys.
instrument
Really.
rules.
Exactly.
You know why?
1.5
You know why I think they do? Because most of the big predators sleep during the night.
Actually, except
they're
for
in
owls,
the
very
air.
few birds.
There are no predators. They're in the air.
Well, they have to land sometime, Benny. They can't just
You ever
always
see-
fly. They
Yeah,
have to
Aside
do
from
it.
owls, very few birds fly at night because they don't
Really?
have good night vision.
Good point. Owls and bats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bats are birds.
Good point. Well, flying rodents, but yeah. Woo! That was a.
But
That
yeah,
was nice.
for
Put my
most
phone
small
in the wrong spot.
birds, and aside from domestic cats, their common predators are usually hawks. They're usually larger birds that can scoop them up in flight.
Yeah, huh?
Well, I saw this great little fight last week out at the Eagle Watch area. There was like 12 eagles hanging out in this small strip of open water. And somebody dives down and grabs something out of the river and then lands on the ice nearby to start taking it apart. And other eagles decided that they want to take that from them. And there ended up this big fucking fight between like 4 eagles over this dead fish. It wasn't dead. It was still flopping around.
Oh yeah, because they like it live. Can't kill it. I think 3 were just too lazy to go get their own. They were jealous.
Well, the eagles are scavengers.
Mm-hmm.
People think they're this great predator. Yeah, they catch fish here and there, but they're mostly scavengers. They love eating on dead deer and shit.
Well, even most predators
need to.
will be opportunist about that. That if something else has brought an animal down, they'll take advantage of it because it's easier than chasing after it.
If you want to catch an eagle on camera, for example, if you get a dead deer that's off the side of the road in a fairly open area, like a farmer's field or something, just set up a camera, 10, 20 yards away in a tripod and just wait. And there's going to be eagles chewing on that thing during the day, and you're going to be close enough to get them some great fucking portraits.
Oh yeah, and again, up in Michigan where we had to drive to go shopping along the Wisconsin highway there were 4 eagles that just regularly patrolled over the highway looking for roadkill.
Yeah, I love, that's one of the biggest things I love about living here is that the eagles are just everywhere. They really are just another bird. They're so common.
Yeah, I miss that. But
in fact, I have seen more eagles than I have blue jays.
I do get to see the random roadrunner where I live, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, those would be neat to see.
They are cool to see, man. They're like the cartoon. Like their bodies are like this, and their legs are like, and they're like right across the road, and you're like, shit, that was a roadrunner. They're fast. They're really fast, and they're probably like, I don't know, 20-ish inches tall, 18.
Yeah, they're like chicken size.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
They're very thin and tall.
Yeah, it was another thing that cartoons lied to us about. They are not like ostriches.
Oh no, I knew that. I thought they were more like along the lines of a large blue jay or a cardinal or something like that.
No, they're about as small as a chicken.
Yeah, they're kind of like a skinny chicken with longer legs and a longer neck.
Did you see that chicken picture I put up in the DMs on Twitter? Some just heavily genetically engineered
I saw that
chicken with those legs that are like 2 inches in diameter and those claws that are dinosaur. Ooh, what a creepy looking bird.
Yeah, I wonder if that was one that was, like bred for cockfighting.
I don't know. Probably not. Cockfighters are usually pretty svelte, and jump up and use their claws
Okay,
when they're in
it
the air.
just looked awfully fucking muscular for a chicken.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Nice.
Oh, I was gonna ask Beck to see if you could dig that up, but no, don't
What?
bother. The picture I
Yeah,
sent to Twitter
my
today.
internet's acting funky right now. I don't want to open Twitter. I'm telling you, it's between 8:50 and 8:58 every single night. My internet starts acting up. That's when they turn on their fucking TV and start streaming
So
shit over
very
there.
predictable.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, like I looked at my phone. I was like, oh, it's 8:50. Here we go. I gotta be careful with shit now. So
I don't
Roadrunners
know
are
the
chickens that
details
smoke
of it,
crack?
but if you live in an area where there are, say, several houses and families that have internet, have Wi-Fi, all the modems will tend to do their Wi-Fi thing on the same channel.
Right.
Okay, and if you check into which channel that is, you can change which channel yours uses, and it'll increase your speed like crazy.
Yeah, if you change the default channel to something else, you can often pick up a lot. You can get through a bottleneck.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it, but I
how
know
would
I've
that
heard
work?
people talk
Because
about that.
We're both coming off the same junction right here.
Well, you'd have to fix it at the router.
Yeah, and everybody who's on that router is going to have the same effect then.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing I keep saying they have a mesh system that they installed. Like it's like pyramid shaped.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 of them, and it covers like most of their property.
Yeah.
Right,
They
but
just
the signal
tiny,
still has to
same
go to
internet.
those things on a certain channel that the
See,
modem
there it
assigns. And
Yep.
that's what you change.
Yeah, it's at the router. It's where it connects whatever kind of network they have, goes into the cable for the provider.
See, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask them where they get their internet from, the name of that company. It's like 40 some odd dollars a month, and you get your own it's radio antenna, little satellite dish looking thing. And it is way better and there's no cable internet out here. You're either satellite or it's radio.
What do they use, like YAG type antenna?
Sucks.
Okay, B.
Okay, I see you.
Sorry.
The satellite sucks, and
yeah, that's it. Look at that thing. Can you zoom in at all?
No.
Yeah, I can't really do anything to change it here, but
I was gonna say purple could, but not right now. Yeah.
Isn't that unbelievable?
I would have to save it to another program even in order to zoom in.
It looks like it's a Muscovy. It's part Muscovies are the ones that have that red all over their head.
Yeah, but look at the size of those legs.
Yeah,
I know,
I've
that's
never
not
seen
normal.
one that the legs were that thick down to the ankle.
Yeah, we had Muscovies growing up, and they did not look like that. Nope.
I wonder if there's a lot more meat on them. They might be fun to eat. Oh.
Well, the thing is, the meat that gets exercised will wind up being dark meat, and if they got too much exercise, it might wind up just being kind of tough and stringy.
Well, white meat or dark meat is based on whether it's a slow twitch or a fast twitch muscle.
Yeah, Krabby, I don't use Wi-Fi. I insist on everything I have being, hard cabled. And that does make a difference for speed. If you've got physical cables instead of a Wi-Fi, you're going to get a better through speed.
Oh, absolutely. Wi-Fi is great, but it has its detractions.
Yeah, it's convenient, but you pay for the convenience in other ways.
Whoop. Beck just disappeared. Beck, come back. Come back, Beck.
Well, we'll keep things going
And,
until
and
he gets
Diana's
back.
in statue mode.
Best I got about the day, kare.
Ox said roadrunners are chickens that smoked crack.
Not funny.
They look a lot like pheasants. I wonder if there's any relationship. Pheasants are not native to America.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that.
They come from China.
So do chikis.
Chickies? You mean chickens?
Yeah, bork.
Yeah,
I wonder what
domestic
chickens were
come
like
from
before
Asia.
humans started breeding them and stuff.
Okay, can we try that?
Oh man.
I have seen there was
I
a
told
type
you.
of
Yeah.
It was something that's not too different from some of the domestic chickens. It was a red bird that was strictly a ground forager in the forest of Asia's.
You see,
Well, they certainly are tasty.
Ouch,
to
Krabby.
making on the egg thing.
I don't think I have had beef in almost a year. It's been all chicken and fish.
Well, it's horrible when even stew meat, from the cows is, like $6 a pound.
Yeah. I try to keep my meals to, I used to be able to do meals for $1 a day.
Can't do that anymore.
So you'd have $2 or $3 a day that you spend on meals. Now it's up to about, it's almost impossible to get something under $6.
Yeah, huh?
Yes, that those facts are absolutely correct, and they're actually really cool to watch, and they're cute. Roadrunners, you're like, aw. Anyway, what time is it? 9 o'clock. I think I'm gonna end this here in a minute. I'm gonna go to bed early. I'm effing tired. I've been staying up till like 1 and 3, and I'm tired.
Hey, we should do one of these times with the chat, more chat interaction by having a Ask Me Anything show.
Okay.
Sure.
So why
Ask
don't we do
me
this? So why don't we just plan for next Wednesday? You three come back, bring whoever you want with you, and we'll do an Ask Me Anything.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. What do you think there, crazy cat lady?
Yeah, that sounds like moo. That sounds moo. Very moo.
Sounds moo.
There's nothing
Okay,
they can
good with
ask me
that?
that'll embarrass me.
And Jenny, since you asked, we don't really have time to compare it here. But on Twitter, I'm sending you an article about what chickens were like before they were domesticated.
Oh, okay. I'll check that out.
Das Trodia Beka
Yeah.
Tohadia.
You live in the Southwest Desert? Are you in New Mexico? Guy who gears.
What's your closest major city?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm about an hour from Albuquerque.
Okay.
So you took that left turn?
No, I never made it there. I actually came in from this way and came down. And so I came down here and Albuquerque's down here. So if I got to Albuquerque, I went way too far, like an hour. Dave said, "I call it Ask Me Almost Anything." I might just do that, be sarcastic.
Well, we said you can ask anything. We didn't say we'd give any answers.
There you go. There you go.
I'll put a disclaimer in the description. Disclaimer. Just because you ask a question does not mean we are required to answer it.
Although I will warn people, my policy with my family for the last 30 years has been to give an honest answer of anything that they ask me.
Yeah.
And the result of this is that for the last 20 years, they've been afraid to ask me anything.
That's funny.
How's your family taking the news?
My mother is taking it surprisingly well. I mean, it's something that was, really completely outside of her frame of reference, but,
Well, do I remember you
she,
talking to one of your aunts and that went over really, really, really well?
yeah, that's, actually just the other night I had a phone call with my favorite aunt who used to babysit for me and that, because I'm just a couple years older than her son.
Oh,
You know,
that's
and
nice.
she had always been the one that I could talk to about most anything. So,
Yeah.
she had a lot of questions, mostly about, how long is it going to take, and medical type questions. So,
I wish I
you
had
know,
just one relative that was good about it. Nothing. None of them.
See,
so the responses from my
I
family have
just can't
varied.
imagine people being like that. It fucks me up.
Yeah, most of them were pretty predictable.
Well, we're talking here about 15 pairs of aunts and uncles and about 45 to 50 cousins.
Yeah.
And not one of them was okay with me.
I should write that down, Dave. That'll be the other half of the disclaimer. I want to say, Guy, I just looked it up, and we are a little over 4 hours away from each other. Huh. We're damn near neighbors in the YouTube world. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was a different world back in 1980 around here, Krabby. I bet. Oh,
yes, it was.
Honey.
That was in the middle of my transition.
I don't even know what to say.
Well, 1980, I was still in high school.
80. I'm trying to think of what I was doing.
Right.
I was still single because I got married in 81. I had to go thinking about that. But
Yeah, I graduated high school in January of 82. I was able to get out a semester early.
you keep reminding me of how old I am, you boofoo.
Yeah, that's okay. Until somebody makes me do the math, I don't remember how old I am.
I graduated high school in 74. A year early, yes, but still it was 74.
Oh, you were a sophomore, huh? When I graduated, you were a
when
sophomore.
You graduated, I was a sophomore. Yeah. You got out in 72, right?
Yep.
I was born in 71.
Oh, you
were probably
what's
born
funny
to my...
about that is there's people over here that were born like 90, 95. So to them, 71 is old.
Yeah.
Because you guys are like 15, 17 years older than me or whatever. But these people
well, remember, there are people who can legally drink that were born in this millennia.
I am constantly running into that in internet chats, that somebody will say, oh, you're old, for somebody who was like, 38, 39. It's like, oh, please, my daughter's older than they are.
Right. I have a bell hanging from my truck that's older than them.
What I really like about being my age is that when we get into these Twitter tussles, that I can look at the person and tell that they're, like 40, maybe 50, and I get to call them child.
Yeah.
Hush up, child.
Yeah, and that thing's been circulating on Twitter again the last couple of days about, without saying your age, say something that younger people wouldn't understand. And it's like, where do I start?
Mm-hmm.
The internet didn't exist until I was raising teenagers.
I always answer waiting 5 minutes for the radio to warm up.
Oh my Jesus, yes. I remember waiting for the telly to warm up. Yeah.
That's great, Jenny.
Yep. I remember the old tube TV set that you had to turn it on half an hour before the show started.
There you go. And then periodically you had to go to the drugstore with a bag full of tubes from that television and
Yep.
test all of them. You know?
Yep. I remember
Which ones are
doing that.
good?
And
You know, I
that's
do
really the way it
remember
was.
when-
Chat, for
when-
those of you who aren't aware, even radios in cars had tubes, and you literally had to turn this thing on, and about 5 minutes later, it would begin to produce some sound, and you know, after about maybe 7 minutes or so, it would be full fidelity, and you know, for AM
Yeah.
radio.
I do
And,
remember TVs that, not the 30-minute ones, but the ones that had to warm up for like 2 or 3 minutes. So you turn it on 5 minutes before your show.
Yeah, and then Krabby remembers party lines. I remember party lines.
We had a party line for like years. And there was an old lady attached to us that lived down the road, and all she wanted to do was talk to her friends about like knitting and quilting and gossip. And we
And
would
the
go-
dial tone was.
I do remember that. Before it became like softer. Yeah. No, we'd pick up the phone and we'd be like, hey, Mrs. Smith, excuse me, pardon me, Mrs. Smith. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you and Mrs. Brown's conversation, but I really need to use the phone. Oh, okay, I'll get right off. 15
half
minutes
hour
later.
later.
Mrs. Smith, we really need to use the phone. So if you could please, like, this is an emergency. Oh, okay, I'll get off in a minute. No, Mrs. Smith, now, I need the phone now. This is an emergency. This is real. Oh, okay, I'll call you later, Gladys. Click, you know, like that's what we had to like pick at her, like, dumbass, we mean it.
And
I don't know if it's
long
One of us was in
distance
the
calls
hospital, and my mom was trying to call the doctor, like, to find out where she was and shit, right?
and
So
long
it's not-
distance calls were a major production, whether you're receiving or sending.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Mm-hmm.
When direct dial long distance calls came in, that everybody was, oh, wow, you can just dial it yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to call the operator anymore and beg for them to do it and wait.
And if you dialed 844-1414, what did you get? The time. Or
I had to dial-
936-1212, you
different-
got the weather.
What's
I
wrong
had to
with
dial
you, Todd?
different
Dave? I've drove a
numbers.
tractor
Wait a minute,
trailer
you
through there
said
many times.
844.
Yeah, and even when I was in high school in Michigan, you could dial a local number with only 5 digits
Well,
because
I,
everything in the county was the same exchange.
I lived in an area for a while where all you needed was the last 4 numbers. And that, by the way, crossed the Ohio River. I lived in Belpre, Ohio. And yeah, you could dial a local number with 4 digits. And this was in 1977.
Jeez.
I remember that
Did
year.
they have electricity?
If you had the hamsters running on the wheel.
And you know, folks, that's not entirely a joke. There were places in the United States that did not have electric power till the 70s.
Yeah, huh?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
My grandma.
I stayed at, okay, so first of all, when I was 8 or 9, we went over to visit these people that lived like hours away from us in West Virginia, and they only had lanterns, gas lanterns in their place, and they had a wood stove, and that was pretty much it. And that's
Did
how
they have indoor plumbing?
No, they had an outhouse, and I clearly remember walking out in the snow with my boots on.
Yep.
But I also remember when we first got to West Virginia, the land that my parents were going to buy, it fell through. Something happened with the buyer. He changed his mind or asked for way more money or something. I don't remember. So they ended up like, well, now we have all our stuff here in West Virginia. We have nowhere to live. They like moved there and was staying at a friend's house, and then we're told, and they're like, okay, what do we do now? Like, we sold our house, right? So somebody was like, well, I have an old house on my property. You can live in it for the summer. So we did. We lived there for like 4 or 5 months, and there was no windows and doors. There was just holes, and Mom covered everything with sheets to keep like birds and stuff out. and there was an outhouse, and there was a big cherry tree out front, and we got so many cherries off that. Mom made cherry pie a lot, and she cooked a wood stove, and like, yeah, like I know what roughing it is. I grew up like real country. Real country. Like we grew our own shit. We dug our own garden up. We harvested. We canned. We put away. We packed. We froze.
Yep.
Like we did all that shit. So when people say, "Oh, you know, I'll survive when something bad happens," I'm like, "Bitch, I really can. Like I know how to do almost everything. I
That's
can
the
gut
way my
animals. I can
grandparents always
skin
lived.
them. We used to do our own slaughtering. Like I'm gonna survive. I'm not worried."
Yep. That's the way my
Diana, you
grandparents used
remember
to live, and that every time we went up there, one of the things was, loading up the station wagon with all the water jugs to go
Yeah.
down to the state campground to fill up the water jugs.
Yep.
Diana, you remember electric trolley cars and buses?
I don't remember them during my lifetime. No, I
Oh.
think I think Cleveland had just sold their streetcars to Toronto, just a little bit before I was born, or just after.
Yeah, I never actually
Look it up
got
and
to a
see.
streetcar.
Say again?
Geez, I really am old.
I never actually got a ride on a streetcar. The streetcars were gone.
Yeah.
They were on their way out when I was under 5, but I have memories of
But San Francisco
riding
still has
on
them,
the
right?
trolley cars.
What's that?
Doesn't San Francisco still have the cars that run up the middle of the street?
I think
I
they
don't think
might.
they'll ever get rid of those.
No, they can't. It's part of the tourism of the city. They literally cannot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
Interestingly
build new
enough,
ones, 2 specs of the old ones, and paint them the same, and then get rid of the old one. Probably recycle them.
some of the cars that were decommissioned from the St. Paul streetcar system are in service to this day in Brazil.
In East Troy, Wisconsin, there is an electric rail line, with the catenary up above the tracks and all that, and it runs between a couple of cities. It's like I think about 15, 20 miles circuit.
Yeah.
Okay, now according to this article in Cleveland.com, the last streetcar in Cleveland ran 24 January 1952. So that was a little bit before
Wow.
I was born July 57.
But Krabby, that's smart. And there are cities that are starting to put in those lines above where the bus track, basically. Yep. And that they just run off that electric. And I can't wait for them to do it, because the worst pollution out of any vehicle I've ever been behind in my life in all the cities that I've drove through were city buses. They would choke me out.
Yeah. And
School
Minneapolis,
buses,
St. Paul,
not
has
as
gone
bad,
back
but
to
still
that.
kind of shitty. But those city buses, they pump out a lot of fucking pollution. They use a lot of fuel.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I remember what it was like getting caught in traffic behind a city bus. That was horrible.
Oh, yeah. Just shoot yourself, right? You're only going to go 2 blocks and they're going to fucking stop again.
Well, now they've designed the exhaust to exit above the roof of the vehicle.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
But I still see that pollution rolling out of those bitches. I don't care where that exhaust is. It's bad.
Minneapolis,
still,
Purple was mentioning, really does have a very nice light rail system.
We really need light rail here.
Yeah, they do.
Here being Pittsburgh. But we're not going to see it because the light rail is already in the rich kid neighborhoods. And who cares about the poor kids?
Yeah.
The people who really need it don't get it.
Well, and that's the problem, too, that they put light rail in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it's the same thing, that it doesn't really serve the lower income neighborhoods where there are the people who can't afford to have a car.
Well, the first line that they build in that kind of system, they have to put in a high density, high profitability area, and that's going to tend to be the wealthy areas.
What the problem with that
that's no excuse for not expanding it, but that's why we see it in those kind of places first, is they need the profitability. They need the proof. It has to be a proof of concept sort of situation. It took Milwaukee like 20 years to argue and finally settle on a light rail system.
Out here, you put the light rail in the rich kid neighborhoods, and they don't use it. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No.
Well, that's the thing that-
Milwaukee was smart that way. There was a rich person neighborhood on the east side that was very connected to downtown, and so they laid it out through that area, and it's fairly well used, I guess. I haven't
Yep.
seen it. It happened after I left.
Well, that's with Minneapolis that they started talking about light rail proposals in the 70s, and it was like 2015 before they actually laid any track.
Mm-hmm. Now Cleveland actually made light rail work to some degree, but that's John Severance and company were instrumental behind that, and we're talking, I think, in the late 19th century. So that's where it got its head start.
I think they should have built the light rail as a population control device also, and put the third rail in the ground so people would step on it accidentally. And
Estrandia, that's all you got to see.
Okay, I was a little off. Minneapolis started running light rail in summer of 2004.
oh wow, that late.
Yep. But they'd been talking about it since the 70s.
Yeah, I don't get why there's so much opposition to it.
Krabby, they did that to Norfolk, Virginia, and part of Virginia Beach, Virginia, because there was a bunch of HUD housing and it was killing the tourism. So what they did was they bought all the properties out, forced everybody out to find new apartments, and they all had to move like down towards downtown. So now downtown Norfolk, which used to be beautiful and nice, is now a shithole.
Mhm.
And the tourist area and up along the beach where they make all their money, it's beautiful. It's 4 or 5 back then, and I'm talking about like 2001, 2002 when they started doing this. $4 or $5 million houses that are 3 and 4 stories, and they have elevators in them, like that.
Yep. It's a common story. Cities across the country have done that.
Yep. Because they're living off that tourist area. Everybody's getting rich off the tourists. They got to keep that clean, man. It's got to look good. And boy, when I went back after being gone for a few years, I was like, wow, like it's totally touristy now. It's beautiful. I mean, it looks great. But
By the way, this picture I put up, that's me in first grade.
That's
I remember that.
I ran it through FaceApp.
Wait, what now? What's that much money, Dave? What? Oh, 1 million over asking price. So my one of my bosses now, not the girlfriend, the other boss, right? She's selling her house. She's lived there for 4 years. She paid 685 grand for it. So 4 years she hadn't paid off much, right? But a little bit off the top, right? And she's gonna sell it for around $1 million. 4 years. Everybody's trying to leave LA. People are leaving Arizona and Texas and California and coming here. And I'm like, you motherfuckers need to stay away. Don't build up this nice little quiet area I live in, please. But that's what's happening. See, LA's too expensive. That's right. Southern California is too expensive.
Well, LA is a great big freeway.
Yeah. That runs 5 miles an hour constantly.
No, that was lyrics from a Dionne Warwick song.
What? Which one?
LA is a great big freeway.
Oh, really? I don't remember
Put
that.
100 down and buy a car. Yeah. Do you know the way to San Jose? There you go.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that was a line in it. We lost
yeah,
a Jenny.
Hmm?
Very sad. We lost a Jenny.
Dai Corostu.
I think she accidentally booted herself playing with icons. We will see. What happened, Jenny?
I touched somewhere on the screen.
I knew it.
Yep.
Fucking StreamYards. God, what a piece of shit software.
Yeah,
just
I
do
know.
touch
I need to switch
screens.
over, but every time I think about it, they just charge me for another month, and I'm like, well, I'll ride this $25.
You know, if they would label the hot zones, you know,
Mhm.
What do you
you know,
mean?
either by design or an actual button or something like that. But it's just like you never know what's going to happen when you accidentally touch the screen somewhere.
Label hot zones. Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, took me a second. Okay, I had to figure it out. I've never heard that term, but I got you now.
Yep.
No, it shouldn't be like that. That's not right.
I hate touch screens. You know, give me an actual keyboard.
I use my touch screen all the time, and I don't have a problem with it. But when I use my phone for StreamYards, I don't have any issues with that. I have to touch on that little spot to leave only.
If my
So
phone's
to me,
ringing,
that's weird.
it is extremely unlikely I can get it out of my pocket and do anything except accidentally activate the camera to answer a phone call.
I've learned to, when I'm retrieving my phone, wherever it is, I only grab one of the corners, so I don't accidentally set up or answer it or anything like that.
Oh, it's safe.
Yeah, I'm with you, Junie. I wish they would give me a phone again, like the slider phone I had for texting. You know, that would actually slide out a little mini keyboard so that you could actually press buttons on the
I remember
keyboard
those.
and touching the screen did not
You know,
make it
Perp,
randomly
if you
activate
get a
a
hold
crap.
of
Who made those,
Consumer
LG?
Cellular, you look them up on the net. They specialize in phone systems for older people, and they have flip phones.
Oh, really?
You can get one of those
I
if
could
you
never
want
go
that piece
back.
of junk.
I could never go back.
Yeah,
I am spoiled by technology.
There we go.
except what I got here is there's a company called Q-Link that has a government program. Since I'm on a disability, I can get a free cell phone.
No, not the Blackberries, Junie. These are the ones that the screen was like this in front, and it would look like one solid piece. And then you slid the screen back, and a little keyboard popped up, and you would just type on the keyboard with your thumbs. I can't remember which company made those. That's what Purple's talking about. Right, Perks?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no, I had when BlackBerry, if you guys remember when BlackBerry first made their first touch screen, but it was a click screen. Everybody remember those? I got one of those. And that fucking thing jammed up and wouldn't click anymore. You know what? You can't do anything if it doesn't click. You'd have to like highlight something and then click the screen. Damn it, lost Jenny again. So it went to shit on me in like 2 or 3 months, and I called Verizon and I said, hey, you need to, I have an upgrade because I had used my phone upgrade, or no, I had it for a year. Sorry, I lied to you. I had it for 12 months. So I used my phone upgrade to upgrade my hotspot, and then my hotspot upgrade was coming out 2 months later, and I was like, I'll update my phone at that time, right? They said I could use them interchangeably. Fine. So then they were like, no, you can't interchange them like that. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, if you use the one for your phone for your hotspot, you don't have an upgrade at all for your phone. That's not what I was told. Well, that's probably what we told you. That's our policy. And I said, no, that is not what you told me. That salesperson lied to me. I do not appreciate that. And you guys need to rectify this because now, hold on, Jenny, because now I have a piece of shit phone that you want me to finish paying for. I said, that's bullshit. And so, yeah, they still are trying to come after me for $350. I told them blood from turnip. Thank you, Purple. That's
Yep.
it.
Things like
it was
this.
a Samsung. I kind of thought it might have been a Samsung.
The
Yeah.
one I had wasn't a Samsung. I forget what brand it was, but same basic idea.
Yeah, they're all made kind of like that. Just the keyboard looks a little different.
Can you hook up a Bluetooth keyboard to your phone?
When I talk about the phone or the keyboard that my ex had, that's the one she had from Verizon. Yeah, that Samsung deal.
Jenny, anything that has a wireless function, you can hook up any modern phone to. Anything that has at least that or better. You just have to hook up the
pretty much
keyboard
any
Wi-Fi.
of the smartphones you could use a Bluetooth keyboard.
Yeah, you just hit connect to the keyboard through your Bluetooth settings. I used to do it with my I had a pad, Samsung.
Yeah, the problem I have
Thing.
though is I want it to not do anything just because I touch the screen.
Yeah.
That's
You know, I can't handle the phone without it randomly activating apps I don't need.
I went to start to use a laptop. It was this was about a year or so ago,
Yeah.
and I kept finding myself touching the screen to get it to do things when the laptop doesn't touch screen at all. I was so stuck with the touch screen of the phone that I couldn't get it out of my head to not
Why
use the
isn't this
screen.
working?
Well,
Yeah,
Krabby,
exactly.
Funny thing is the reason one of the reasons I bought this laptop and I bought the bamboo pen with it and everything is because I wanted to experiment with like artist type stuff. And that was the original purpose of this laptop. It was not supposed to be the main hub for my YouTube stuff. I didn't know I was going to be doing YouTube when I moved to Santa Fe. It started then. So I didn't know what I was going to be doing, right? So that's what I bought this for. I had never planned on like streaming and needing to have everything hooked up and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah.
Well, Krabby,
So I need to buy. But I mean, I have everything except for the tower. I literally need a tower and a power cord. So that's what I was asking Krabby about. Like give me some basics. I just don't know what to look for these days. It changes so much and I don't keep up. And people will say, "Oh, you need this now." And I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" You know?
I need a computer.
And I don't mind like doing a plug and play on my own if it's cheaper.
I don't have any computer at all. I need a computer.
I know, honey.
And here's Diana sitting here with 5 or 6 of them at home.
I know, right?
Well, 3 of them are laptops, dude, to be fair.
Diana.
Oh, well. Oh, gee, that makes it better.
She's like, that's what. He's like, that's what I want.
The way things are going, if I live long enough, I'm probably going to have to build another PC pretty soon because.
Well, put me in your will for that, okay?
Yeah, there you go,
Jenny.
I could.
We all have a will. We're all old enough to have a will. If you don't, you're a fool.
I could really use working Bluetooth, but unfortunately, on my 2 towers, the Bluetooth works on neither of them. Damn it!
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. If I plug one of those AUXs, that you plug into a USB port, and you're supposed to get Bluetooth. On the Linux side, it works intermittently, and on the WinShit side, it doesn't work at all.
Good night, Junie. It's lovely to see you again.
Yeah, honey,
Always
I do
love
build my own.
Junie.
Yeah, I love building machines. I really do. Yeah, I did not have Bluetooth on the motherboard. Even this one that I built for.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Price. I still had price in mind.
Oh, it just popped up on. I mean, I don't know how much to believe Reddit. They send me emails for some reason. I keep forgetting to unsubscribe. It said prosecutors in charge of Trump criminal probe have resigned.
Yes, I heard that earlier today.
Oh, son of a bitch! They got forced out.
Oh, I'm sure. You don't step down from a big case like that. 2 reasons: you're forced out, or 2, you admit you can't fucking handle it, and nobody's going to do this one.
Or your prosecutor who is in charge of you has decided that they're going to pull back on what they're going to charge, and you know that they could win a whole lot more, and you're so pissed
Uh-oh.
you quit.
Yeah, did they resign because of
Good
that,
point.
or were they forced to resign because somebody pointed out a conflict of interest thing?
I think the DA got bought.
That wouldn't
I'll tell you in a
surprise me.
second. Why am I into YouTube? It's not what I clicked on. Well, some bitch.
Ugh.
Well, that's a video I'd have to watch, so I'm not doing it right now. But that's okay. We're gonna take off here soon.
Get that bitch out of the door, you kitty.
About every 4 or 5 injections, it just leaves my leg hurting afterwards like I have a Charlie horse. Don't know why.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
I've got to
random.
do my injection tonight before I go to bed.
I'm a Tuesday person.
Do you switch
Yeah.
legs when you inject?
Yep. I honestly think I'm better on my right side, though, and I should just stick with that side.
I inject it directly in my right tit. No.
No, you don't. You put in your
I
leg you
don't.
showed us once. Goofball.
Maybe I should, though. They're uneven, and that's the small one.
I love you, Jenny. You're fucking hilarious.
Well, it's not unusual for people to have one breast larger than the other.
As a matter of fact, I think that is the majority position, is it not?
I believe.
Actually, yes, it is. That the majority of women in the U.S. at least have one breast 1/2 to 1 full cup size larger than the other.
I mean, even
Really?
I do. I've got the tits of a 10-year-old.
See, somebody should take mine because they are damn near they're almost identical.
God, I
I've
wish
been
we could
trying
do
to take
that.
yours.
Still slightly perky, too. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, sure. You've been running around without a bra for the last 25 years.
No,
Yours-
I've always worn
yours probably
sports
hit your
bras, trying to
knees.
push them down flat. I just didn't know what binders were and that I was trans at the time. Man,
God,
it's changed my
that
world.
has got to be
These
so
are my best
uncomfortable to wear.
friends. These are my best friends.
B, that has to be
Binders are
so
my best
uncomfortable to wear.
No, it doesn't bother you at all. You get the full. See, I tried it. I tried the single part. I tried the one that's like the half tank. Just get the full size fucking shirt. I'm telling you right now, don't waste your money on the other shit. Anybody out there wants to experiment with it, get a full body. Mine's tank top style. It's really not uncomfortable at all. And it's got a mesh. It's mesh here, and then the rest of it's just like a tight feeling like gym shirt. Like the dry wick away material, or whatever they call it, dry weave. It's made out of that, but it's thicker, so it doesn't stretch.
Yeah, I don't envy you at all.
Oh, I love it. It's my best friend.
Although I have to,
That's the biggest part of my dysphoria.
I have to be honest. Back in the days when I had to do that sort of thing, tucking is an awful thing to have to do to yourself.
No,
Yeah,
and
but
it's
see, I'm not large. I'm a small to medium B. So it's not a big deal for me. And the more I'm on testosterone and the better food I eat and stuff, they're getting smaller. So,
How's your beard coming?
well, I shaved it off because I was trying to get it to come in darker, and it worked a little bit just right here. This here is still blonde. Like it's totally covered in fur. Right
You're
now.
old enough that you're going to have a lot of gray. There's nothing you can do about that.
I know, but I was trying to get some blacks to come in. I mean, it worked. There's a few up here too, but I'm gonna be like Sultan. I'm gonna have like 4 different colors. Just 'cause
Yeah,
don't
I
care.
mean,
I'm fine with that.
Men's beards start to show gray in their 40s.
Yeah. But I'm
Well,
okay.
I
I mean,
started-
I'm like I said, I'm fine with it. I don't care. I'm just
I
gonna
started
whatever it
graying in
is.
the 30s.
Yeah, that's not surprising either.
I mean, I'd already thought about getting some of that just for men and just putting it on this because I
yeah,
had shaved it
that'll
off, so I'm
work.
letting it grow out a little bit more. But
Well,
when I had it longer before. It was twice the length. When I shaved, I actually trimmed
when,
it. Like
when
2
you're
times.
talking about just for men, remember Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, God, yes.
I'm serious.
Anyways, the point
Don't
was
use that
just to
shit.
like hit the tips of everything so it would be visible. But I know I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, just
I can't
accept
be fake.
it for what it
Yeah,
is.
I'm just not a fake person. I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at it.
Oh,
Gets me in trouble sometimes, being honest too. I just tell people some shit. I'm like, oh, you didn't want the truth? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a problem I've always had.
I didn't realize. You know, part of me becoming a better person was being honest, 100% honest with myself, so I could self-analyze and figure out what the fuck was going on with me. And by doing that, now I want everyone to be honest, and I'm honest all the time, because if I'm not honest for 1 second, it kills me. I'm like, oh god, that sucked fucking line just now. Like, it hurts me. And I have to think about it, because if I don't run it through my head as I'm about to say it and barely listen to what the other person is saying, whatever the lie is, the truth will just fall out of my mouth anyways. So I just gave
That's
up and
another
said, I'm
show
never going to lie again.
show discussion we could have. Is I would
Oh,
like
yeah.
to hear people describe what it means to them to love yourself.
Oh, I got a list.
Include the chat in that.
Okay. We can do that as part of the Ask Me Anything. Next Wednesday, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here. That's what's going to happen, folks. All right, everybody, we're going to end this broadcast. So
Okay.
let me say to our constants in the chat, the 4 to 7 of you, I believe, that have been commenting, I really appreciate you coming by. I appreciate the support and the love and the funny shit and everything, and I just love you guys. That's all. And you three beautiful people, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate your brains, especially when it came to politics, because I know zip. I have opinions, and that is it. So thank you for teaching me some shit tonight. So everybody out there, just remember one thing. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Have some peace in your life.
Peace, love, dove.